You are obviously the only immortal person in the world. But you can never make a fortune. So you start to worry about the secret of your own immortality. Known by those who are invincible. To hide identity. Explore your own invincible path over the long years. The Emperor was your friend at that time. But you dare not have the slightest contact with him. Just because even though he became the great Emperor, but can't live forever. Don't you dare bet on what he will do if he knows you can live forever. Fortunately, you are born with the ability to cause an effect without obvious consequences. Plus some other means. It's been well hidden all these years. You are always sad. This era. In the end, only you and me will be left. Qin Feng raised his glass and looked at the stars. As if to that person. Already extremely powerful. One person can push through eternity. Invincible friends talk. At the same time. Originally the invincible one. Things come together in a great way. He was also with his wife at this time. Remember the past. Mainly because of his wife. I can't stand it anymore. Before death. I can't help it. Let's go past some old stories about old people. They also mentioned Qin Feng. Ouch. Our group of people back then. Damn dead. The one who wants to become an emperor has become one. I thought of marrying you too. Good or bad? Do we have an ending? But, however, there is a person, the person who disappeared a long time ago. What is his ending? When Yuan Yu heard Su Qinyan's words, he naturally knew who he was talking about. When he mentioned this name, although his expression seemed unchanged, there was a hint of confusion between his eyebrows. Still couldn't help but show some of the youthful spirit of the past. He was once a young man who was wild and had drinks with many good brothers in the stars. Discussing ancient and modern times, he talks wildly, wants to be invincible, wants to live forever, and uses his bold words to eliminate disasters in the world. But Yuan Yu still has more complicated feelings about the name Qin Feng. He may be having some kind of disagreement with this person. In his opinion, this is the case, even if he is not sure whether Qin Feng is dead. Every time I mentioned him before. You don't want to say more. Ever. He is also under this starry sky. One of the people most expected to succeed, but disappeared inexplicably. You are still good brothers. Is he dead or alive? You don't even figure it out. He didn't care much before. And he can see that his man doesn't really want Qin Feng. I didn't ask any further questions, but now he really feels that death is approaching. Want to find out some past events. He disappeared voluntarily. Must have lived a long time. Maybe not even dead yet. But in fact, he is not absolutely sure about Qin Feng's situation. This was when he was thinking about Qin Feng. The power of the Supreme Earth comes into play naturally. A few intuitive insights captured, although extremely unclear. It is also difficult to determine. But he thinks, that person did not die after disappearing. At least he lived for a long time. Then why doesn't he show up? If a person hides and refuses to come out, of course you are afraid of something. Crude oil classical Chinese smile, said lightly. Even faintly revealed on the face. Half a bit of contemptuous pleasure. As if in some kind of competition. He defeated a best friend who was often against him. What are you afraid of? Su Qinyang Wenyang thought for a while. I figured it out quickly. Qin Feng back then. He is truly the best person in the world. All that is left is the final leap to the right path. Something that can scare Qin Feng. There should be only those forbidden creatures that do not come out to see the light. Or later, the emperor in charge of crude oil. But now that crude oil has become the emperor, those taboo creatures dare not come out. Even if you come out, there will be crude oil blocking it. But Qin Feng still didn't dare to show up from beginning to end. Then you can imagine who he is afraid of. He is afraid of you. Why? Not sure. But he must have some secret. Afraid I know. And, moreover, I feel that he treats me as a villain, which makes me feel uncomfortable. Villain? What does this mean? I guess he was afraid that I would covet his secrets, so he couldn't hide. Doesn't this treat me as a villain? No matter what secrets he has, I don't care at all. I rely on my own reasons. Enough. Yuan Yu spoke loudly. His eyes bloomed with divine light, as if he had penetrated through eternity, and the supreme earth was filled with breath, overwhelming him. Heartbroken, the universe was shaken, and everyone was shocked. With his invincible belief. Even if the years go backwards, I am also confident that I can be promoted forever. Even if it's a big secret. He doesn't care. He is already the ultimate in this world. Between heaven and earth, nothing can surpass him. So you never tried to find him. Never. Reason but smile. He has indeed never looked for Qin Feng. When he felt that Qin Feng was blocking him, seems to be afraid of him, he completely ignored that guy. Still the same sentence. No matter what kind of baby secret it is, make that guy look forward to him so much. He doesn't care. He was the emperor at that time. Confidence can push everything. Then he is really a villain. I've been hiding from you in the void. With his villain heart. Touch the belly of this gentleman of yours. Maybe Qin Feng really has some terrible secret. Maybe he's really dead too. But so what? Crude oil doesn't care. Su Yang naturally doesn't care either. And this is actually what crude oil is screaming about. He won't try to find Qin Feng. I won't explore Qin Feng's secrets. He just does himself. As for Qin Feng, better to hide until death. Never show up again. The distant starry sky. That little man who has lived forever. They all also felt a certain invincible gentleman. The divine power of the earth emerges in an instant, stirring up the starry sky. What's going on again? The earth is amazing. Leave it here to disturb the people. In a blink of an eye, nearly 1,000 years have passed. Qin Feng is close to 10,000 years old. Normally, the earth can only live for about 10,000 years, perhaps with some extraordinary opportunities and means. Can live another 1,000 or 2,000 years, and if you get the legendary, if it's the elixir of immortality dropped from the mythical land, it can also reshape destiny, live another life. So, even the eternally invincible taboo figure of the earth, at most, it's about 20,000 years old. Very few people live beyond 30,000 years. As for the earth that has achieved immortality, it should be the original. But Qin Feng is already long live, still full of life. Shou Yuan can't see the end at a glance. He is an immortal man. Time passes without leaving any trace. But this eternal destiny, it seems like a huge shackles. Shackles. Let him not be able to end in January. I can't even try it. There is no way to touch the realm of godlessness. The distance is also endless as far as the eye can see. However, Qin Feng did not give up the pursuit of bottomless. Always trying to find another invincible path. Such as now, he spent thousands of years. A way to finally perfect yourself. Not a single flaw exists. Just talking about Taoism, Qin Feng's self-study will never be worse than Yuan Yu, the great emperor at that time. But he never made the final leap. Never conquered the universe. Huang Suizheng Nao Tianjie. Leading to the baptism of the source of the supreme heavenly heart. Achieve ultimate sublimation. This is something he can't do no matter what. He can't survive the disaster. Naturally, we cannot attract the most fundamental source of the supreme heavenly heart of the universe. In simple terms, his flawless conduct is not supported by the origin of the great emperor. It cannot exert its ultimate power, but Qin Feng has tried in recent years. I think there is still a way. It can keep him close to the power of the earth, the accumulation of long years. It's not necessarily impossible to build high steps. Eye level with the earth. He currently only has one kind of impeccable way of doing things. But if he comprehends and masters many kinds of flawless Taoism, various ways of doing things support each other. Mutual origin. Maybe it will keep him closer to the true power of the earth. But this takes a very long time to realize. Cultivation of mind and body. There will definitely be difficulties of all kinds. Even dangerous. And a very important point is, various practices cannot be mutually exclusive, or exist independently. Only Daosheng. Even merge with each other. There is a close relationship. Only then can we support each other's origins, as one. No matter what kind of Taoism he activates in the future, other Taoist practices can resonate with fusion. Does not affect the independence and strength of the Taoist practice. Provide only the purest source of support. In this case, theory should be able to transcend limits. Keep approaching the power of the earth. Maybe it can even transcend the earth. This is his nearly 10,000 years. A gradually discovered. The path to invincibility should be feasible. As for whether it will work specifically, how big is the improvement? Still have to let time verify. This road should be the only one. Only immortal people can go far. Even those forbidden creatures that seem to exist forever. They don't have that much time either. Those taboo creatures spend most of their time sleeping in confusion. It is impossible to be in a state of spiritual practice, so they are just hanging on. It's not really living in the years. The core of my life. It's the way of thunder. Xingfeng suddenly had wisps of thunder all over his body, breaking through the void in a flash. Split Daos. That kind of power. Perfect and powerful. It is the embodiment of the ultimate way. Suddenly, in the flash of lightning, in the opportunity to annihilate everything, there is a faint sense of new vitality. Reborn in thunder. The next avenue. It should be the way of life. Qin Feng actually started very early. Simultaneously comprehend the way of life. He lived nearly 10,000 years. Infinite knowledge of nature. Collected many ancient scriptures. Taoism related to the way of life. He also practiced a lot. Healing and health. There are even ways to extend your life. He based on his own understanding. He has gradually formed his own way of life, and have already walked a while on the road. However, just then, boom, it comes from the supreme heaven, origin of all laws. Qin Feng naturally felt it too. This cosmic movement. And know as soon as possible. What does this mean? You are new. You finally live to the end. Are you about to die? Qin Feng raised his head and looked into the deep sky. Just look in that direction. I can all feel it faintly. An overriding. The overwhelming breathtaking aura. That's where a great emperor of the world lives. Zhengzhengdao in the supreme heart of heaven. Sublime to the extreme. The godless state of Pida. He is the invincible in this life. But now, that great emperor. It seems that he cannot live forever. Life is about to end. Therefore, the supreme heaven mourns for him. Have you not even found a single elixir of immortality? Such waste. Although since ancient times, it is true that not all lands have received the elixir of immortality. Some people die after only one life. But most of the time, you can always get at least one elixir of immortality. After the elixir of immortality matures and is harvested, will not die, can grow again. That's why it's called immortality. So the number of elixirs of immortality in the world, theoretically it will not change. The difficulty of obtaining it has naturally remained unchanged. Qin Feng has read ancient books in recent years. Found a question worth pondering. It seems that since ancient times, those who are invincible, there is no longer a shocking effect of reshaping the fate of a lifetime. But in the end it is a supreme divine being. There's no harm in having more than one. I always feel like those immortal medicines. It seems that they are avoiding meeting the same land. There may be some hidden secrets in this. However, those elixirs of immortality are inherently mysterious. Legends are dropped from mythical lands. It is also considered by the world to be evidence of the real existence of the mythical land. Yuanji Holy Land. In the deepest place of creation. Reason is standing in front of a cemetery, looking at the dozens of large tombs. I can't help but think of some past events. Remember something. Those dozen large tombs. They are all former comrades in arms of crude oil, close relatives. A new tomb was recently added. That's his lover Su Qingyang. Su Qingyang actually can't live that long. It is crude oil that breeds earth blood. Add some elixir to wash his hair. I have lived for a long time. At this time, white hair appears on the temples of crude oil. It is difficult to show the traces of time on the majestic face. Even though the supreme region still has boundless power, all over the world. But at this time, there was a woody atmosphere. He is already very old. Life is short. Not a few hundred years left. But in fact, he has already obtained the elixir of immortality. Just not in a hurry to use it. In this corner of creation. Something that fluoresces. On the little water frogs contending with the clouds and clouds. There is a very small purple lotus growing. Delicate and beautiful purple lotus. Petals as crystal clear as jade. With purple luster. There are mysterious lines on each piece. Extraordinary luck is flowing. Feeling like an ordinary person is vast. All petals unite. Like a vast ocean. Far less like a human being. This purple lotus. It is the legendary Taoist lotus. Without knowing the truth or falsehood. From the mysterious ancient records that leaked out from nowhere. Taoist lotus. It floats out from the ocean where mythical land comes from. This kind of myth and legend It is also the standard configuration of the supreme divine object such as Taoist lotus. Will any fool be deceived? The reason is that at this time, I was delusional about the Taoist lotus flower, thinking about what to do. You can act out the situation where you are about to die more realistically. He wanted to take advantage of the weakest time in his later years, to seduce those people who have been spying on him. The enemy who wants to hunt him comes out. He knows better than anyone. Under this seemingly clear world, the ancient supreme being who survives in the darkness, there are alien monsters and evil spirits. There is a source of great confusion. There is immortality. Those are forbidden creatures that have deviated from the right path. That darkness and filth. It made him, the great emperor of the world, feel a lot of pressure. You knew this life. I often get entangled with those taboo creatures. 6,000 years ago, he once tracked down one. An unexpected forbidden creature happened, and a war breaks out. Finally kill it. The last 2,000 years, he walked out of the devil's abyss with a lump outside the territory, and suppressed to death the monster that tried to parasitize the supreme heart of the universe. He stepped directly into the devil's abyss and turned around, kill some cargo terminals to the Cavaliers. Of course, there were also things in the plan that he found difficult to interpret. I really don't hesitate to fight at all costs. It's possible that they died together. Yu is the great emperor. Incredible power. He can sense something obscure and cold, malice directed at him from the darkness. There must be some forbidden creature that is eyeing him. But those forbidden creatures, hidden for who knows how many years, hidden too well, just some bad words. It is also difficult for Yu to trace out his hiding place. He didn't dare to show his face directly because he was afraid. And hidden so well. Those taboo creatures are similar to Qin Feng. Forbidden creatures. Qin Feng. Will it be the same? Yu thought of Qin Feng for some reason. But his earth intuition has always been keen. Can capture some obscure secrets and causal fluctuations. Especially since he and Qin Feng were comrades in arms when they were young. Good brother. There have been many causal entanglements with each other. Intuition is more accurate, although that intuition does not reveal the truth. Only reasonable speculation can be made, but it also has to make Yu think deeply. If Qin Feng is really a forbidden creature, so afraid of him and avoiding him, it can be explained completely. Forget it. I hope you are. Yes. But maybe there is a plan to reunite. I'll kill you when I meet you. Yu thought for a while. I'm too lazy to think about it. Qin Feng's matter is not worth consuming his energy at the moment. At least Qin Feng cannot be secretly targeting his recent creatures. Otherwise, that intuition should be stronger and clearer. 600 years have passed. Qin Feng is corrupting the way of life. Lightning flashes all over. The anger in my heart suddenly vents in it. 2 ways to live one life. Not mutually exclusive. Complement each other. But suddenly. Rumble. A huge movement spreads throughout the universe in an instant. Manhua Yang, stirring up fluctuations in arrays of Taoism, conveying some kind of sadness. There is a sense of sadness. Yu, will you die or not? Qin Feng felt the omen of the jade stone that was shared by all the worlds. I know that Yu, the current great emperor, has reached the final stage of his life, but she really doesn't think that Yu will die in this lifetime. If Yu really didn't find the elixir of immortality, then the commotion that is happening now should be more than that simple. Still want to use this to bring out the enemy? Acting is so bad. What could be better than taking the bait? Even she didn't quite believe that Yu would die like this. Will anyone believe those taboo creatures who have calculated their plans for eternity? Even a young taboo newcomer like him couldn't tune it out. Who else can be called out? However, Qin Feng just thought so. Suddenly there was a shocking fluctuation. From outside the universe. It's like an eternal wave crashed into this universe. Powerful. Very majestic. The endless starry sky of immortality is shaking. What's going on? Weren't you still sighing just now? Will Emperor Yuan fall? Why does it look like the Emperor started fighting directly? Everyone in the world is shocked. This kind of movement is definitely a forbidden power. Only that kind of Earth-level existence can have it. It's an extraterrestrial god species. Is there another undead thing about to be born? Soon someone strong will judge. This kind of fluctuation comes from the gods outside the territory. Because it comes from the direction of God's seed. And there is that weird and unique chance of immortality. The God Seed wants to take advantage of the Yuan dynasty emperor's later years to harvest the Earth-level corpses. There are two sources of great disasters in the world outside the territory. They are Demonic Abyss and Divine Seed respectively. These two places did not exist initially. In ancient times. After a big event happened, then suddenly appeared, however, just when everyone was still wondering about the movement of the God species. Within the universe, the starry sky suddenly dropped layer by layer. The dazzling ladder, simple, fast and majestic, that ladder has no end in sight, as if endless. Straight to the land of myth. Eternal ladder. This kind of mythical forbidden zone has now appeared in the world. Emperor Yang. Really die in this life. So many taboo things have come out. There are many knowledgeable and powerful people in the world. I don't really think that Emperor Yang will die in his lifetime. But now it seems that this kind of movement, it's quite similar to that. Is this era coming to an end so soon? Seriously. Even Ling Feng, they couldn't help but stand up, jump to the distant stars. I'm curious about what's going on with Yuan Yu now. Is this era, from now on, is the only one left? But just when Qin Feng thought it was coming, the divine seed set off like an eternal wave. The shocking fluctuations began to fade away. The starry sky determines which layer. The endless eternal ladder gradually disappears. After a while, the whole universe has returned to peace. The world is in a false alarm. Qin Feng saw this situation. Naturally, everyone understands. Yuan Yu will never die in this life. Those taboo creatures saw the true situation. But I have to say, the reason is at least partially deceived. Knowing that both the God Seed and the Eternal Ladder have taboo creatures eyeing him, maybe you can make some preparations earlier. God's Eternal Ladder is quite majestic. Do I have to make some arrangements in the future? He won't die. Maybe one day I can reach the power of the Spirit Earth level. Live a long time. It's not like we don't even have any infrastructure, right? That would look a little shabby. After a while, a huge movement swept across the universe. The sorrow of thousands of peers in the world also disappeared early. At this moment, the world also once again felt the spiritual magic of the mortal world. Overwhelming. The absolutely invincible source of earth energy in the world. Anyone with insight can naturally see that. Emperor Yang is not dead. You must have gotten the elixir of immortality. Reshape destiny. Live another life. The breeze is strong. Too lazy to pay more attention. Then prepare to continue to comprehend the Great Road. However, obviously he still underestimated Yuan Yu. Underestimating what it means to be an emperor. Yuan Yu comes back to life. After returning to the throne of the Dingxing Emperor, then he directly began to liquidate the Eternal Ladder and God Seeds. These two sources of fire and mythical forbidden areas. They all made a big fuss. Yuan Yu will naturally not be used to it. He guessed that they had been keeping an eye on him all these years. Forbidden creatures that are malicious to him. It probably came from those two places. Crude oil steps onto the starry sky. The slightest glimmer in the eyes. Penetrate the darkness. Unparalleled breath. Permeate the universe. Overwhelm everything. He raised his hand and threw out the original machine gun. In an instant, all the divine power exploded. Unparalleled spiritual power. As if to tear the universe apart. The original machine gun crushed a dark starry sky. In the shocked eyes of the world. Directly to the dazzling and gorgeous eternal ladder. Forced out. A large section of the ladder's steps were shattered. Turn into smooth fragments and disappear into deep space. Crude oil, on the other hand, goes straight up the ladder. Every step makes the universe vibrate. A large section of the stairs turned into accumulated powder. Finally, crude oil reaches the top directly. Submerged into the dark nothingness of the end. Original great land. The world has witnessed with their own eyes such a mythical and legendary power. Everyone is shocked. Unable to conceal excitement. That kind of absolute invincible power. What everyone in the world yearns for. In this world of mortals. There is no place I dare not go to. There is no strong enemy that cannot be killed. No matter how many forbidden creatures exist in the darkness, it doesn't matter. Still afraid. Afraid. Avoiding the place at that time. Worthy of being a formidable enemy. Qin Feng looked at the supreme power of crude oil. I also gave a little exclamation for it. Envy is poisonous. Not much jealousy. Naturally, he has no grudge against crude oil. Just for now. He and crude oil are not on the same road. In the realm of taboos, everyone who travels the same path is the enemy. Different paths lead to mortal enemies. Subsequently, that deep void of darkness, a terrifying movement erupted that seemed to destroy the entire universe. Obviously, it was Emperor Yang who fought in it. After a while, a roar, sent from the extreme depths of space, holding a kind of, as if from eternity, implanted into the mind, shocking anger and unwillingness, sweeping across the starry sky, as if there is an eternal giant beast, roaring in the world. Finally, a very angry, terrifying and powerful humanoid creature, falling out of the soundless sky. He still has that LS God weapon Yang gun stuck in his body. Emperor Yang also walked out. There are several hazy stones suspended around him, exuding forbidden power that scares the world. Let the taboo creatures be frightened, feeling an extremely strong sense of danger. It turns out that you have been preparing for thousands of years. Just replace the pile of rotten stones, refined into a forbidden divine object. Qin Feng couldn't help but look at the pile of debris behind me. There are more than a dozen rotten rocks among them. It was he and Yu who, and another friend, found in an ancient ruins. The material is very unique. It seems that it has undergone some unique tempering, strange internal structure, ability to independently inscribe the laws of heaven and earth, contains power, just easy to explode, and it's powerful. Crude oil will obviously turn that rotten stone forged into a forbidden bomb with even more exaggerated power. This should be crude oil's preparation for the war in his later years. There is no such level of preparation. Crude oil probably wouldn't dare to easily shoot into the myth of the eternal ladder, the forbidden creature inserted by the original machine gun. Not many surprises. In the end, he was naturally killed by crude oil, and that forbidden creature. Or is it an invincible existence that has succeeded in the righteous path of this universe, when he devoted all his energy to his former state? Still invincible. It's just that the area is rotten, blood dried up, unsustainable strength. The outcome can only be defeat. But its final blow, still cracking the starry sky. After all, everything is terrifying and powerful, almost sinking the universe. Crude oil suffered a huge blow. Qin Fang saw this. Then I didn't have much interest in going to see it. Sit down silently and continue to comprehend the Great Road. Crude oil was the Earth's endless power. So-called severe damage. Not worth mentioning at all. Far from death. After such a great battle, crude oil then rushed out of the universe. Set foot on the divine seed. A terrible war also broke out in the gods. All the movement and sound are transmitted into the universe. Cause great turmoil. Just how is the battle going? No one knows. Finally, reason returns to the universe. The world cannot look directly at the Earth. Of course, we don't know the extent of his injuries. It is also impossible to find out the results of the war on the Earth. That's it. The universe is gradually returning to calm. In a blink of an eye. 8,000 years have passed. Qin Feng is 18,000 years old. He has pushed the path of life to its limit. Just a few flaws. How wonderful for more than 1,000 years. Almost enough to be perfect. This way is feasible. Qin Feng raised his hand to summon a thunderbolt. Then he killed it directly. The power of thunder blooms in an instant. Supported by the Tao of life as the pure source of Taoism, the power of the explosion directly increases by one level, beyond the limits of the past. Horrible beyond words. There's that frightening, taboo aura. This power. It is much stronger than it was 8,000 years ago. Compared to when I first reached the pinnacle of the world, it's almost beyond a big realm. No matter in any era. Except the Earth. He is confident that he can overcome everything. It's not an exaggeration to call him taboo. At least it's a step into taboo territory. After all, this is 18,000 years of profound Taoist practice. And has not that mediocre. Already possessing supreme talent. Only then can he be as good as any invincible person in the past and present. This didn't happen overnight. But the accumulation of long years. Keep building higher steps. Only reluctantly set foot in taboo territory. And during these 8,000 years, Yu also makes troubles. Just Yu who was sensed by Qin Feng, entered 3 more forbidden areas of mythology. There was a war. He also captured forbidden creatures deep in the starry sky. I always feel like Yu is busy with something. But in the past 1 or 2,000 years, crude oil has stopped. It seems that he no longer shows his status in the world. But Qin Feng won't pay too much attention to it. Always immerse yourself in your own practice. However, what Qin Feng never expected was that, after hundreds of years, this era ended without warning, because the original land at that time, gone. There is a great movement in the universe. Myeongdong Avenue. One fast stretch. It's like some kind of shackles of heaven and earth are being opened, and this situation generally means that the earth no longer existed at that time. No longer suppress all the ways of heaven and earth. The supreme shackles are opened, allowing people to go through the tribulations on the right path. New land appears. But in fact, even now there are people who have reached the highest level in the world, can lead to righteous disasters, will still be severely suppressed. It's extremely difficult to take that step. We still have to go through a buffer period of quite a few years, waiting for the complete release of all the ways of heaven and earth. Only then can we overcome the calamity normally and on the right path. Something's wrong. Qin Feng felt that thousands of shackles were being opened. That kind of movement spreads throughout the universe. There is a hint of sadness in the Tiandao Mingdong. This situation, most people in the world would think that it was when the earth passed away. Heaven and earth mourn together. Therefore, the phenomenon is shocking. But Qin Feng and a few top experts in the world still noticed something was wrong. At this time, the sorrowful fluctuation conveyed by the vision of heaven and earth, not strong enough, more like some kind of sadness, rather than great sadness. It's like for an old mother, missing child and confirmed death of child. The difference in sadness is huge. Yuan Yong, did you also kill yourself? Have you become a forbidden creature? Qin Feng looked solemn, talking about this serious result. Those forbidden creatures that live in darkness in the world, most of them were in the big universe in the past. The invincible person who succeeds on the right path. The invincible can absorb the supreme essence of the universe, refining the divine source, conceal living beings, keep it alive, quiet as the years stand still. But this divine source cannot seal the invincible himself. Because they are invincible, the smallest power in the ends of the earth can overwhelm everything. The divine source cannot be sealed. Their same indomitable years. So, someone kills himself, pay a huge price, exit that godless realm. Then he enshrined himself in the divine source. The world believes in the existence of mythical lands. Some people also believe in those taboo creatures. They survive in this world, want to wait for the mythical land to appear, or simply want to verify whether the mythical land really exists. But the problem is, who knows if the mythical land really exists? Who knows how long it will take for the mythical land to appear? And long years have passed. How many forbidden creatures are there in this world? Many disasters and disasters come from forbidden creatures. The universe has long since ceased to exist. All sentient beings in the world have long been unable to support so many forbidden beings. In this kind of world, someone has to step up and do something. Let the world have some hope. Can temporarily overwhelm the dark and terrifying source of disaster. He also doubted at this time. The land of origin has fallen into darkness. Be part of the forbidden disaster. So he is afraid. It's impossible to dare to say it directly. I don't even dare to record it in books. Because if many people read it, it may also be related to this big secret. It may radiate some cause and effect. And then it brings disaster. This kind of thing has happened frequently since ancient times. He didn't even dare to think about it anymore. The ultimate failure to look at the taboo characters infinitely. Worry even just thinking about it. Will be sensed. Crude oil. It turns out to be the end. Will you change too? Qin Feng frowned and thought deeply. He also speculated that crude oil would kill itself, became a forbidden creature. But of course, this is not certain. There are other possibilities. For example, already far away from this big universe, leaving the radiation range of the universe. The supreme heart of the universe has supreme power. Can naturally sense the only kind of earth-level luck in the world. And if the supreme heavenly heart cannot reach the only earth-level destiny for a long time, it will also naturally unlock the shackles of the world. And the reason seems to be located in the world without being revealed for 1,000 or 2,000 years. Maybe it's far away from the universe. It's just that outside the universe there is nothingness and chaos. It's easy to get lost in it. It is rare to hear that there are invincible people far away from the universe. Because that's almost the same as seeking death. Of course, if there is any extraordinary means, can shield the induction of the supreme heavenly heart for a long time, or directly use the terrifying god beyond the earth level as a fuse connection with the supreme heart. It can also unlock all the shackles of heaven and earth. Still say, you kill yourself. Willingness to serve the highest purpose. Protect the world. Qin Feng thought of another possibility. The supreme intention is actually a forbidden creature. It's just that it's different from most taboo creatures. They cut themselves and sealed themselves. Just for the day when fire comes to the universe. They will once again show their strength to fight against disaster. This is taboo fighting taboo. But this kind of intention is extremely rare. And it's easy to self-seal if there's an accident. Soul evil sleeps. Too late to wake up. Missed the opportunity to be born. Or because self-proclaimed is too long. Body, soul, Taoism. Advanced decay. Completely fallen into disgrace. Can't return to the top. Reduced to a weaker level of taboo creatures. Facing the disasters of the world. It won't be of much use either. It would be better to launch the ultimate war in the first place. Take away a few big enemies directly. And, in long years, intention supreme may also change beliefs. From intention to image. Completely reduced to a taboo disaster. So, forbidden beings with supreme intentions are too rare. Since ancient times, many disasters have occurred. I don't know how many supreme beings with this kind of intention are born, suddenly in Qin Feng. And when the world thinks about the death of Emperor Yuanji, Coax, a huge leader suddenly appeared that covered the starry sky. The essence of the starry sky from all directions gathers. Let the chief pay more attention to. The terrifying taboo filled the air and shocked all realms. That taboo leader. Take a direct shot of the mountain gate of Yuanji Holy Land. That is the supreme orthodoxy founded by Emperor Yuanji. Everyone was shocked when they saw this. I wonder if after the death of Emperor Yuanji, there are taboo creatures that must be liquidated in turn. Such terrible news came out. Set off huge waves in this starry sky. And finally the world saw. Yuanji Holy Land was turned into ruins. Beaten to pieces directly. Many people were angry after seeing it. Emperor Yuanji has great merits in this world. No one in the world disrespects the emperor. Because the emperor is here, there is no need to worry about taboo disasters. Can enjoy peaceful time. But now, Emperor Yuanji was just confirmed to have passed away. Its Taoist tube was directly destroyed. But many knowledgeable people noticed it immediately. Holy Emperor Yuanji was defeated with almost no resistance. Something's obviously wrong. As a great emperor, how could there be no taboo to resist? Even in the face of taboo creatures. Nor is it impossible to resist. What's more, it's still exerting force from a distance. A forbidden creature whose true form is not in trouble. Its power is limited. Holy Emperor Yuanji is an empty shell. Already retreated. Are you testing it? Qin Feng saw Emperor Yuanji's Yuanshan Gate being beaten to death. He guessed that there should be forbidden creatures. I can't guess the true situation of Yuanyu either. So I want to test. But obviously Yuanyu had guessed this before trying it out. It is estimated that the source-level Holy Land has been hidden from the world for a long time. Source-level Holy Land may never have trouble again. You may also wait for the next great emperor to appear. Be reborn. This kind of thing has happened since ancient times. It seems to have become a routine. Those taboo creatures can only test it like this. They are not born. Only the remaining power. It's also difficult to find the real source-level Holy Land. It is also even less likely to launch a disaster and victory to draw out the crude oil. Because that will lead to more horrific consequences. Very uncontrollable. Some forbidden creatures may die. Unless forced to do so. Forbidden creatures can easily launch disasters and great victories. Moreover, they are not sure about the real situation of crude oil. Aimless exploration will only be a waste of effort. What choice did you make? Or is he really dead? Qin Fang looked into the deep sky. She also cannot judge the current real situation of crude oil. But she can't control crude oil either. Both she and crude oil have gone their separate ways. Have their own destiny. Just from the current point of view, the most likely scenario is the last two people alive in this era. It is possible that they have all become taboo creatures. And at this time, the entire universe suddenly experienced some terrifying and taboo fluctuations. It seems that the suppression of the earth at that time was lost. The time when a forbidden creature becomes active. And Qin Feng didn't expect that at this time. he will directly face a forbidden creature next. An inconspicuous stream of light suddenly passed by Qin Feng. This kind of light is extremely common in the starry sky, usually barely noticeable. Qin Feng didn't notice it at first, but he is sensitive. At a certain moment, sensing some extraordinary opportunity, he was shocked. Immediately follow the induction and pursue it. Then I discovered the stream of light. And when he saw the things in the streamer, his face changed immediately. The eye suddenly burst into golden light. A taboo breath comes out. The impact caused the surrounding void to tremble. In that stream of light is a strange pearl. No roots. At the bottom are 3 broad leaves. Profitable and profitable, revealing the hazy light. A straight branch protrudes from the center, smooth and flawless, like woven jade. 3 strange flowers branch out from 3. Seemingly tangible, seemingly invisible, fantasy and strange, indescribable. And at the top of the central branch, there is also a half-withered bud. There should be a 4th strange flower. It just looks like it should be difficult to grow out. Such a strange spider. Just take a look. They all seem to be able to vaguely capture the immortal charm. Sansheng Shenhua. Qin Feng immediately recognized what a supreme divine object this was. That is the 3 lives divine flower. An elixir of death. A peerless divine object that even the invincible will pursue. However, Qin Feng saw the 3 lives divine flower. He didn't even have time to make any move. Then suddenly I saw the direction in which the 3 lives divine flower was turning. The problem with the elixir of immortality. It seems that since ancient times, the invincible, you can only capture at most 1 elixir of immortality. Very few people can get 2 or more. He always feels. It's not like the invincible found the elixir of immortality. Instead, the elixir of immortality took the initiative to seek refuge with the invincible. And those elixirs. It seems that he deliberately avoids encountering an invincible person at the same time. Now this situation. The 3 lives divine flower suddenly turned towards him. It's like taking the initiative to surrender to him. However, Qin Fenggang thought so. Him even worried that there might be some kind of problem with the elixir of death. Him still thinking about whether to accept the 3 lives divine flower. But I thought it was a legendary mythical thing after all. You might as well take it and study it. Result. The myth of the 3 lives hasn't gotten much closer yet. Immediately afterwards. Even if there is a big change of things. Directly change direction. Stay away from Qin Feng. That picture. A bit like a door-to-door blind date. Haven't entered the house yet. Just glanced at it from a distance. Found something wrong. Then he left directly. What does it mean? Don't like me. Qin Feng looked at the myth of Sansheng. This supreme god must leave. Can't remain indifferent. Still don't want to miss it. He immediately picked up a piece next to him. The charred wooden board chased after him directly. He doesn't need to restrain himself too much at this time. Don't make any big noise. After all, the earth had disappeared by then. As for other taboo creatures in this world, still remaining in the divine source, the power that can be used is limited. As long as those forbidden creatures didn't see through Qin Feng's heels, or the realm of strength, it is absolutely impossible to attack him easily. Everyone is a forbidden creature. They were all invincible in the world. No one is weaker than anyone else, hastily becoming hostile to unknown forbidden creatures. Even shopping is not in mutual interest. There is a burnt blackboard above Qin Feng's head. Can't help but the black air falls, completely covering up all opportunities in him. He activates the flawless power of the word of life. Rapidly across the stars, chase towards the Sansheng Shenhua in front of you. He is not prepared to use his thunder method. Because of his thunder method, he also gained a reputation in the world. Once competed with the contemporaries of the dead earth. If someone really recognizes his true identity, then everyone will know. He is a fake. Forbidden creatures who have never been on the right path. Now he only uses the way of life. The perfect path to life. It is also capable of bursting out all forbidden power. Life is surging, gushing. His rapid power at this time. Just like the endless waves of life. Unstoppable, galloping endlessly. After catching up some more, Qin Feng reached out and fished it out. A sea of sweat rolled back for 9 days, and huge fluctuations were set off. Apply your Sansheng Shenhua in an instant. Catch with bite. The surrounding starry sky was filled with excitement. A thrilling and taboo atmosphere permeates the air. make the surrounding creatures tremble for no reason. No matter how powerful a person is, they dare not step into the starry sky to check the situation at this moment. Afraid of causing big trouble. The earth was gone. Taboos are irresistible. Actually, the earth is also taboo, and it is an existence comparable to a taboo giant. But the taboo fluctuation caused by Qin Feng at this moment, not the only one in the universe today. Forbidden powers appear in many places. Some hidden places deep in the starry sky were destroyed one after another. Earth-level fluctuations. Forbidden power tilt. Shocked out of jail. It seems like someone is looking for something. Even the mythical restricted area has two looming. Seems to be taking action. When Qin Feng was about to catch the 3 lives divine flower, the 3 lives divine flower is smooth and released. Turn into a brighter stream of light. Straight away for a long distance. Boom. A peerless power that overwhelms the world comes lightly. Taboo against the spread of qi. The stars in all directions suddenly dimmed. A layer of darkness. That kind of darkness also pressed directly towards the 3 lives divine flower. But the bright light transformed by the 3 lives divine flower still flows out of the darkness. Also not caught. And the remaining taboo fluctuations that broke out when Qin Feng took action to catch the 3 lives god flower. Still colliding with that darkness. Boom. 2 forbidden powers collide. Instantly set off a huge wave, stirring in all directions. Collapse the void. That terrifying movement frightened the remaining living beings. It seems like there are really prefecture-level figures starting a war. Forbidden creatures. Qin Feng looked at the darkness in the distant starry sky. Looks reasonable too. Become solemn and serious. Even the charred wooden board above my head. Everything is getting darker. Endless black energy falling. Make it difficult for anyone to gain insight into what's going on inside. The blackened plank is a piece of Reiki wood. And it's Reiki wood from the tea tree. It is a natural treasure. Has peerless power. This hard-bone thunderwood. It can be called Qin Feng's 18,000 years of life. The most precious and powerful treasure ever obtained. Although the tea tree is not the elixir of death, but it is also the supreme sacred tree. Tea leaves and tree trunks can be harvested unlimitedly. They are all supreme gods. And what Qin Feng got, still withstood the super long divine thunder. Fallen trunk of tea tree, more ancient and peerless. With his current ability, even the ultimate power of the hard-bone thunderwood cannot be exerted. He can only do his best. Arrange many formations to attach to it. Activate the hard-bone thunderwood. Release its supreme divine properties. Relying on the array spiritual fire to exert many wonderful effects. It is enough to resist the prying eyes of taboo beings who have not yet been born. And after all, the Mind Valley fetish is considered a kind of ostentation. How can a person who is not invincible be equipped with the collision of 2 forbidden powers just now? Although the result was that Qin Feng was suppressed and crushed, but in fact, there is no huge gap. What's more, his remaining power is just. He took action with all his strength, and the forbidden creatures in the darkness opposite. It may be sealed in the thick divine source. Taking random shots while half awake, and maybe to save energy. It also lowered the taboo power. This breath of life. Which one is it? The forbidden creature in the darkness. I'm a little surprised at this moment. Although the collision just now meant that he was better than the other party. But he didn't feel anything at all. Maybe the other person is trying to save energy just like him. After all, it's just about getting the elixir of immortality. Not a fight. No need to use too much force. But people like them. Even if a random thought occurs, trigger divine power. They are bound to be beyond the pinnacle of the world. It's a real taboo. The same goes for the guy opposite. Just. He can't see through the other person. I can't even guess the other party's identity. Don't know the details. Naturally, I won't take action easily next time. And the 3 life divine flower they want to catch. You should also take the opportunity to run away minging with 6 cigarettes, right? Unless something happens to them. Capture it with true earthly deity. Otherwise, it is estimated that it will be difficult to find traces of the Sansheng Shenhua. Black clay coffin. Which ancient supreme is this? At this time, Qin Feng's eyes also penetrated the darkness. Saw in the dark. The place where the forbidden creature lives. Then since it is one party. An earthen coffin made of black clay. But the technique is rough. Made it quite ugly. Just. Is that Manhua Yang too? Have extraordinary powers. Similar to his hard-bone Thunderwood, the same supreme deity has many uses, can exert unpredictable power. In front of the black clay coffin, they are 3 terracotta warriors with the same rough fabrication techniques. Pulling. Xianhuang earthen coffin, pulled by horses. Plus that dark way. With Qin Feng's current knowledge, I can't recognize the identity of the person opposite me at all. Maybe the person on the other side is like him. The second kind of flawless way is used, and it should almost never be revealed to the world, and leave a reputation. Therefore, there are no relevant records about the monuments. This is indeed a good way to hide your identity. Qin Feng encountered forbidden creatures for the first time. It does feel like meeting a colleague. There are many similarities between each other. Qin Feng and the Coffin Supreme both observed and examined each other. Neither of them has any intention of continuing to fight. But no one left immediately. They all seem to be confident. Don't worry about the other party actually attacking you. But in the end Qin Feng left first. And after he left, the Supreme Coffin opposite didn't want to bother him either. Leave just as quickly. Both of them have super speed, and crossing the starry sky will not cause any fluctuations. Everything is covered up with anger. In other words, the movement they stirred up was extremely slight. Unless it was the Emperor at that time. The absolute divine power to understand the entire universe. Or the true form of a forbidden creature is born. Otherwise it would be difficult to track them down. After a while, Qin Feng suddenly stopped. Gaze at the vast starry sky. Although there are still some unquenched taboos in the universe. But he gradually felt an inner peace. Perhaps it was because of some reason that he was confirmed to have disappeared today. Remind him of something. It even made him start to re-examine his heart. Confirm your ambitions, wishes etc. Zheng Hao said he wanted to be invincible. Immortality. Sweep away the disasters in the world. Qin Feng thinks of the past. The first him. Didn't know I could live forever. The purest him. Used to compete with others for big things. I once said I wanted to be invincible. Longing for immortality. Even determined to eliminate the disasters in the world. Broad and clear world. He has easily gained immortality. The rest is invincible. And wipe out the disasters in the world. The purest one in the past. His ambitions and wishes. His heart. Have you changed because of your immortality? Qin Feng is looking at himself. I am also practicing mental state practice. Disasters in the world are linked to forbidden creatures. And Qin Feng has just met the forbidden creatures. What's the result? There was far less reason why the great emperor put so much pressure on him. If caught by the current emperor, then it's really unavoidable. We can only rely on each other head-on. If it is a forbidden creature. So what if he really had a tough blow with that Coffin Supreme just now? That Coffin is supreme. Is it really because he found out that he is weak, become hostile to him? Even if something goes wrong, go shopping with him. The forbidden creatures long ago did not have the endless invincible power of the great emperor at that time. There may be no fundamental difference in realm level between the two. But there is a huge gap in that kind of deterrence. The emperor can really conquer all the taboos in the world by himself. Think carefully. So-called forbidden creatures. The so-called disaster in the world. In fact, it's just that. Breeze looking into the deep sky. The rainy season brings light to the air. The whole person seems to have recovered a bit of the time when he first competed for the invincible road. Fearless spiritual energy. Unconsciously, he no longer fears those taboo creatures in his heart. Even dare to despise. Maybe he should rush out now. To those taboo creatures who are showing their power at this moment. One slap per person. Let's see what happens again. But in fact, he just thought about it casually. The passion of youth in the past together. Just something to feel. At this moment, Qin Feng felt that his mood was becoming more and more flawless. He is willing to do it till the end. Carry out your purest original intention. Look at yourself. Confirm your heart. The road ahead will naturally be more stable. 4,000 years later. Qin Feng is 22,000 years old. The three-life divine flower appears again. Still an ordinary stream of light. Passing by the starry sky in front of him. And it's still the same script. The three-life divine flower suddenly turned towards him. He actually quickly changed direction and left him completely. Qin Feng looked confused when he saw this situation. He once thought that the elixir of immortality might have spiritual wisdom. After all, it is the supreme deity. But now it seems, More like some unconscious instinct. Otherwise, how could you do the same thing to him? At first glance I thought he could do it. Want to take refuge. At second glance, I realized it was not the case. And then left again. I want to see if you can show up a third time. Qin Feng this time didn't go out to chase the 3 lives divine flower, because he felt that he still couldn't catch up with the results. And the elixir of immortality, the Sansheng Shenhua, it's actually useless to him. The only use is to take it back as a collection, as a supreme deity. Just study it carefully. And he feels that the 3 lives divine flower will continue to come. Qin Feng at this time, the way of thunder and the way of life, all are already flawless. His third path is the path of annihilation. Thunder can destroy itself. Life will eventually perish. The path of annihilation can also be related to thunder. Life connection union can be mutual sources of truth. Qin Feng is 28,000 years old. The distance from the original place disappears. 10,000 years have passed. In these 10,000 years, the shackles of heaven and earth, completely released long ago. The fortunes of the universe are now bleak. The genius withered, can't even try the right path. There is no decider in the world, and Qin Feng has already basic practice of the path of nirvana, extremely flawless. He at this time, the combination of 3 avenues, pushed to a higher level, easily surpassed in one shot. The limits of the world, mighty and mighty, a step higher than 10,000 years ago. There has been that. The earth-level charm that overwhelms everything. 28,000 years of practice. Throughout the ages, most invincibles. There is no way to cultivate for such a long time. With Qin Feng's current extreme combat power, it should be enough to confront those head-on. Forbidden creatures that do not leave the divine source. Hiding under the hard-bone thunderwood, walking time. As long as he doesn't encounter taboo creatures that attack him very hard, no one can discover his true identity. Most people will think that he is also a forbidden creature. More than 1,000 years later, Qin Feng was implicated by a pair of siblings, forced to fight a forbidden creature. But he doesn't know yet. One of these siblings will be successful in the future, become the great emperor of the world. That day, the 2 siblings rely on their unique methods to breaking into an ancient creation place drifting in deep space. But they don't know that this is actually the residence of a forbidden creature. And this forbidden creature is falling into an eternal slumber. Not an attack or a universe-destroying movement. It's almost impossible to wake him up. Most of the time, all taboo creatures in the world are like this. Deep sleep. Difficult to wake up. In order to preserve strength and vitality as much as possible. So, after the siblings stole a Western-style artifact, only then did he finally awaken the forbidden creature from his slumber. Subsequently, an earth-shattering forbidden divine power erupted. Terrifying and majestic violent waves were set off. The blow caused a large swath of the starry sky to fluctuate and tremble. That overwhelming taboo opportunity, falling into the world, shocked the world. Someone who knows the secrets of the world. All horror. Knowing that it is forbidden for living beings to appear in the world. We are even worried that a disaster will break out that will destroy all living beings. But this kind of movement, in fact, it's the forbidden creature. After discovering that his sacred item was stolen, a taboo strike that bursts out of anger. But those siblings have a good chance. Strong spirit. I actually got a certain invincible person from the past. A life-saving talisman made by one's own hands. When they activate the earth charm, disappeared in an instant. Under the coercion of the earth talisman, they almost instantly. It will span dozens of star fields. However, that forbidden creature at close range. A terrifying blow. It still shocked the siblings midway. But the siblings are protected by the earth talisman. He was not seriously injured. The forbidden creature saw this. No intention of letting it go. Then the temple moved. The terrifying power instantly penetrates the starry sky. Radiate far away. Across a long distance. Strike out again. And in the star field struck by this palm. Unfortunately, Qin Feng was somewhere. Looking at a ruin. Understand some ancient Taoism. Above his head, that piece of hard-bone thunder curtain hangs quietly. Thousands of strands of black hair are falling. Cover all its wonders. But he also immediately became alarmed. This Taoist charm. It's the hanging bone soul. Qin Feng took it down from that photo. Capturing the unique opportunity of flawless Taoism in Jin's power. The cauldron is empty and invincible to all forces. This kind of avenue seems to have only been possessed by ancient Emperor Xianding since ancient times. Unless there is an older supreme being, or alien creatures that do not exist in ancient records, walked almost the same path of Taoism and Dharma. Otherwise, the one taking action at this moment should be ancient Emperor Xianding. Qin Feng also immediately discovered the culprit who provoked ancient Emperor Xianding. That's a man and a woman, covered in blood. But the opportunity is still strong and the injury is not too serious. Their bodies are covered with hazy and smooth. It also exudes a strong forbidden qi. It also reveals a kind of supreme earth-air cloud. Obviously, that man and woman have earth-level treasures. He withstood the ancient Emperor Xuanding's attack for them. Otherwise, all are ants in the taboo realm. There is no one who can resist in the world. It was shattered in an instant, facing the ancient Emperor Xuanding's blow that fell at this time. That man and woman. There is actually a second earth-level treasure. And activate in advance. In an instant, he escaped from several star fields. This time, they escaped from the terrifying power range of that forbidden blow in time. And move away quickly. So far away that ancient King Xianding, with the power he can use at this time, it's already hard to find. That swiftness of escape. Even Qin Feng may not be able to stay, faced with the terrifying blow that ancient King Xianding was launching. Qin Feng noticed it immediately. It is possible to dodge. But why should he avoid? Qin Feng directly raised his stick and pushed. Starry sky in all directions. There was an immediate earthquake. A vast and terrifying peerless power burst out instantly. The smell of taboo permeates the air. The tyrannical faction is overwhelming, continuously running. Crushed the void. Crushing you. Rumble. Two forces that overwhelm mortals. Forbidden powers collide. Trigger star formation. Set off layers of Jin waves. Spread widely. It seems as if there is a supreme war. Let the creatures in the stars in all directions. All trembling with fear. The result of this taboo collision is, Qin Feng is not weak. The ancient Emperor Xuanding's blow can suppress him. In the end, he blocked it. This way of life. Who is? Even ancient Emperor Xianding didn't expect that. His palm across the distant starry sky. He actually accidentally forced out another person of the same kind. This situation, I don't know if I can say he is lucky or bad. Because the universe is too big. Hundreds of star fields combined. Relative to the entire universe. Still a drop in the ocean. These taboo creatures just hide away. Not as good as a water molecule in the ocean. Such a blow can exactly cover the probability of attacking a forbidden creature of the same type. That's minuscule. But just come across. The Lord of Life must have been awakened by him unintentionally. Respond quickly as a last resort. Just the long existence of ancient Emperor Xiantian. With his knowledge, I still don't recognize who the person across from me is. However, ancient Emperor Xiantian wasn't too surprised either. Every taboo creature has its own secret. They are all difficult existences. Not that easy to see through. And of course he doesn't want to get entangled in anything. He suppressed the anger that he had just had the sacred object stolen by two thieves. Take control of your own place. Floating deep into the starry sky. Continue to become a water molecule in the ocean. Hidden quietly. He can only endure this big loss for the time being. Without anything happening. He has no good way to find those two thieves. And he doesn't want to waste any more energy. He doesn't think that the supreme being of life who was forced out by him. It may have something to do with those two thieves. Because it's not like that at all. He is also not worried that the supreme being of life will be angry and chase him. That's not in their interest. Just an accident. No matter how bad your temper is, you won't be able to dig into it. The collision between Qin Feng and ancient Emperor Xiantian caused great commotion in the universe. But it didn't attract much attention from other taboo creatures. Forbidden creatures basically fall into deep sleep. Such noise would not wake them up. In the landless era, in long years, this kind of taboo movement is not that rare. However, when those taboo creatures wake up, if you start to understand the many major events that happened during sleep from the living beings in the world, it's still possible to find. Qin Feng and Xianming ancient King Seal fought hard. It's possible to know. There is an unknown person. The Supreme One who uses the law of life. Have taken action in this world. After everything calms down, Qin Feng couldn't help but turn his head. Look in the direction where the man and woman left just now. I just took a casual look at it. He can probably tell. That man and woman are the top geniuses in the world. There is that kind of sharp and surging genius and anger. And today's fate of the universe has completely turned around. Geniuses continue to emerge. So Qin Feng estimates. The new emperor. Maybe it will appear soon. And once the current emperor appears, then he will naturally have to be cautious again. Don't let your own qi leak out easily. Otherwise, a living emperor would catch him and fuck him like crazy. It's impossible for him to escape even if he wants to. The same goes for other forbidden creatures. But at this time, Qin Feng didn't know yet. Soon, the siblings will also visit his lair, stealing a peerless artifact that he kept in his lair. Sister. Did another taboo character just appear? After Ji Yuefeng and his sister escaped to a safe place, there is still a look of shock on his face. Breathing slightly. Yes. Digging for treasure actually unearthed an ancient supreme being. The road is half as good. We can encounter the existence of a second taboo. This time we caused big trouble. If we want to overcome the disaster in the future, we will take the right path. I'm just afraid that forbidden creatures might come to stop the theft. Pay back the cause and effect. Although he is invincible, not afraid of any obstacles. Be confident that you can carve out a righteous and invincible path. But those are forbidden creatures after all. To get into this level of karma, it's true that disaster may happen at any time. Ji Yuefeng Wenyang also changed his expression. He hasn't thought about this yet. And this means they will go through the tribulation on the right path. It may be more difficult than ordinary people. One more danger from forbidden creatures. But in fact, the invincible men of all ages were on the right path. At least half of them have been attacked and blocked by forbidden creatures. But there are various reasons. Not exactly the same. There may even be forbidden creatures that protect the righteous ones. Most taboo creatures are not necessarily a bad thing. There are various and complex reasons. Things on the level of the earth and forbidden creatures. Beyond everything in the world. Too scary. Thriller. All sentient beings in the world are irresistible. No one can figure it out. Then should we continue the treasure hunt? There is also a small ring to burn in the treasure hunting box. I'm sure we'll still find one or two magical items. Even those invincible ones in the past. You may not be able to find so many divine objects here. Ji Yuefeng was a little scared and apprehensive, but I can't help but be greedy. Still want to continue looking for the divine object. After all, it is a divine object. Any kind of divine object has extraordinary power. It's a great opportunity. Supreme creation can make them surpass their peers in this life. Even leaving behind peers. Consume the top of the invincible road. Leading this new era. The cause and effect of fetish is too great. The luck in the air path is too strong and violent. Those who are invincible. But you can capture the divine objects at will. But we may not be able to bear too many divine objects. Ji Yuiqing said something more sensible. He knows a lot. No, there is a limit to everything. Too much is not enough. Prone to disaster. Such as this time. If it weren't for being in an ancient palace before. Obtained 7 earth talismans from the former invincible Emperor Xian. They were already robbed and died. But the problem comes again. They also have 5 Xian Emperor talisman. Are you afraid of being robbed? You really can't be bolder. Keep looking for artifacts. So, are we just going to stop? Let's wait until we are stronger. Ji Yuiqing naturally didn't intend to stop. No one can resist the temptation of fetishes. But she does plan. Wait until your cultivation level improves a bit. Continue the treasure hunt. No matter how high the level is. In front of those taboo creatures. They are all the same. Under taboo territory. All are ants. This is not just talk. It's also time to calm down and recuperate. Digesting the opportunities brought by divine objects. At the same time, continue to accumulate various means. To cope with various emergencies. 100 years later, Qin Feng braved the thunder curtain and quickly crossed the starry sky. Returned to one of his 3 old nests. He has collected all kinds of treasures over the years. 3 creation sites were built. As his 3 nests. He has lived for nearly 30,000 years and accumulated many treasures. Spiritual objects, classics, etc. They are stored evenly in 3 nests. But there is only one lair where the fetish is stored. Qin Feng values the most. 9-color bamboo was planted in that old nest. A supreme talent. Uses are not limited. Refining weapons. Build a divine formation. Or you can refine the essence of Shintoism. This was when he walked in the starry sky 3,000 years ago. Found it somewhere in a secret place. Although not as good as his hard-bone thunderwood. But the 9-color bamboo can grow infinitely. Unlimited access. Has immeasurable long-term value. Qin Feng is ready to wait for the 9-color bamboo to grow tens of thousands more. When the time comes, harvest it and make a boat. Or you can make a coffin. It seems that taboo creatures like to make coffins. If that doesn't work, you can still refine a magic weapon embryo. It's just that he has no habit of using weapons. And I really want to use the power of weapons. It takes a long time to practice and maintain. Talents unite people and soldiers as one. Show great power. Nearly 30,000 years of life. Just got two kinds of gods. More or less. Qin Feng returns to his old nest. Look at the 9-color bamboo, a peerless fetish that flows with intoxicating colors. I feel quite satisfied and satisfied. Divine things can be found but cannot be sought. Can get hard-bone thunderwood. Qin Feng actually felt that it was enough. Because it's basically enough. Now there is 9-color bamboo. Naturally, I feel more blessed. You can practice and make one more treasure with a layout. Qin Feng was 30,000 years old. All three of his avenues have been absolutely perfected. Way of thunder. Way of life. The way of sacrifice and destruction. And he had already begun to comprehend the fourth avenue. His choice is the way to kill. Cultivate the spirit of killing in battle and killing as little as possible. A ray of murderous aura can penetrate the years. Strike across the ages. This is a domineering and fierce fighting avenue. So Qin Feng chose this avenue. In fact, there are still some things that are not so appropriate. Because he has little chance to fight and fight. Enlightenment may not be so smooth, but he still wants to maintain the enterprising spirit in his conduct. Indomitable momentum. Even if you want to understand the Tao and the Dharma, you have to choose the right way as much as possible. This road to immortality is not that simple. Needs some kind of balance. A little worse. There may also be big problems. And after careful consideration, he believes that the method of killing meets his needs. Is the right path he needs. Thunder has the intention of killing. The path to annihilation is just a little far away. Therefore, the way of killing can also be integrated into his current Taoist system. After he masters more and more avenues, many branches of the avenue were scattered and reformed. There will be more and more avenues to choose from. So choosing the right one becomes more and more important. Practice for 30,000 years. 3. Flawless moral conduct. Qin Feng's current strength is enough to control the universe. Can perfectly impersonate the taboo supreme. And he estimated, if he has 5 or 6 flawless conduct merged into one, can support him to reach a higher level at his younger age. It should be said to have a certain degree of earth power. If you have 8 or more flawless moral conduct, once it breaks out, it will be extremely powerful. I'm afraid the gap with the earth won't be that big. If you reach Shifen Daoxing, I really want to say that he is the emperor. It may not be impossible, but this is all based on his current. The combat power embodied by 3 flawless moral practices. The estimate made. What will actually happen in the future? Or rather, this amount of moral conduct will continue to accumulate. Will you encounter other problems? And danger? Not yet known. Decades later, Qin Feng steps into the starry sky again. Enlightenment and Dharma. Traveling around. He understands the road of killing. Although it is impossible to pass the battle and blood, deepen enlightenment. But he still had many bloody battles before. And this world of mortals. There are also many wars breaking out all the time. Fighting and bloodshed. Observe all sentient beings in the world of mortals. It can also help him achieve enlightenment. But Qin Feng is traveling around the world and enlightening. But suddenly I felt. My lair was visited by thieves. This day. Lonely and Love. 2 siblings named Ji Yuefeng. According to the guidance of treasure hunting incense. Came to a very secret place of creation. But when they stepped into this place of creation. Even though his face changed drastically. Almost immediately, he turned around and ran away. Because there is an aura of taboo everywhere inside. A grass. A flower. A pebble. Blue sky and white clouds. Trees, river. All exuding a heart-stopping and terrifying atmosphere. As if they stepped on anything. May suffer unimaginable horrific disasters. Forbidden place. Ji Yuefeng's face was full of shock. He didn't expect it at all. They had been preparing for a fetish hunt for hundreds of years. To actually step into a forbidden place again. Just the last time I dug for gods with them. Excavation of the Xianding ancient house is different. Xianding ancient house really looks ordinary. It's almost the same as an ordinary place of creation. Before they woke up Xianding ancient house, they didn't even know that there was a place where forbidden creatures could live. But the taboo atmosphere in this place is too strong. Horror, so scary. Lone and Bi grasped the Xian Emperor talisman in an instant. It's almost time to activate the Emperor talisman and run away. But it was immediately held down by the lone ant and dragon. Its eyes bloom. I shot a circle around this place of creation. A moment later, there may be no forbidden creatures here. Or they haven't discovered us yet. It's not easy to light the treasure hunting incense. Can return without success. The fetishes here may not be out of reach. The eyes of the lonely ant and dragon show a sharp light. It's not afraid to take risks. Still want to find the artifact here. Since the treasure hunting incense has led me here, then there must be something magical here. And after escaping from the ancient Emperor Xianding last time, he is no longer so afraid of forbidden creatures. As for provoking forbidden creatures, you may need to repay the great karma in the future. He doesn't care anymore. Anyway, I've already offended one. It won't necessarily be too bad if you provoke another one. Ji Yuefeng did not refute Ji Yuiqing. Next, the two relied on unique methods to gradually penetrate into this place of creation. None of the taboo arrangements here are triggered. They also gradually became more relieved. At least, there may really be no forbidden creatures here, or a forbidden creature, in the slumber of soul evil. Otherwise, they don't think they have unique means, can avoid the induction of taboo creatures. Soon, they discovered the 9-colored bamboo. See the bamboo that exudes 9 kinds of dreamy brilliance. Both siblings looked happy. Those who know the guidance of the divine incense in this treasure hunt. It is the supreme talent of Juseju. But when they really touched Juseju, and when ready to pull it out directly, the breeze beyond the far distant starry sky, I finally noticed it. His expression changed instantly. Shocked. He has spent a lot of time over the years. Cultivate 9-color bamboo with your own opportunity. Have established a very weak connection with each other. This will help him use the 9-color bamboo to refine treasures in the future. So, when Juseju is touched by others, he also sensed it immediately. Someone entered my lair. Qin Feng couldn't help but be surprised. He casually spread a large number of taboo tricks in his lair. Get rid of forbidden creatures. Who dares to break in easily? And actually after touching the 9-colored bamboo, that made him feel something. This is the supreme patronage. Still met the forbidden thief. Qin Feng had no hesitation. He is holding the hard-bone thunderwood, by the way of flawless life. Activate taboo haste. Open the starry sky directly, at an unimaginable speed. Return to the nest. At the same time, he directly exploded with forbidden divine power. Radiate 5 waves. Beyond haste. Straight across the endless starry sky distance. Torrential forbidden power. Negative pressure vast starry sky. Terrible breathlessness permeates the air. Let the creatures from all directions suddenly feel a thrilling feeling of horror. Divine power comes directly to the nest. Qin Feng also immediately understood the scene in his lair at this moment, and saw that Ji Yu had already solved the problem. He recognized brother and sister Ji Yuiqing. They were the man and woman who had provoked ancient Emperor Xianning before. He didn't know it then. How did they provoke ancient Emperor Xianning? But now, he did understand. His lair at this time. Many Western-style spiritual objects. Real talent. Half of them have been swept away. Even the 9-color bamboo. They are all being used by those two people with extraordinary strength. Cut off from the root. I'm afraid that if it weren't for them, they wouldn't be able to easily and quickly uproot the words. They must all be pulled out directly. Lin Feng did not hesitate. Continuously without divine power. Across the stars. Just pinch those two people hard. He is full of murderous intent. There is no mercy or forgiveness. The stunning forbidden power pours out. They all came under pressure towards Ji Yuiqing's sister and brother. It seemed as if the two of them were going to be crushed into powder in an instant. That unparalleled power of taboo. Beyond everything in the world. Make the whole lair tremble. The stars all around are shaking. Ji Yuiqing and Ji Yuefeng. I also felt it immediately. The forbidden divine power I have experienced before. Make them terrified, feeling an overwhelming terror. They can't have any hesitation. Immediately activate a Xuandi mansion. A layer of hazy brilliance immediately emerged. Covering the two people, exudes a supreme earth-level aura. Has indescribable and peerless power. Almost at the moment they were about to be crushed, the two of them disappeared directly on the spot. At the same time, he took away almost all the 9-color bamboos at once. Except for the roots of 9-colored bamboo. Just a small piece of bamboo, poorly protruding from the ground. Next moment, Qin Feng quickly crossed the vast starry sky with all his strength. Time so close. Soon he returned to his hometown. But everything is too late. He is still too far away. He struck from the air. At most, it's just a man and a woman. Can't keep them. Looking at the situation in the old nest, especially the 9-color bamboo with only a small piece of bamboo left, Qin Feng's expression turned cold. There is a murderous aura in his eyes. He also once competed for the road of invincibility. Fight under the stars. Shopping. Lots of killing. He was never a kind person. Lin Feng exploded with all his power. Go to the sensor to capture the location of the 9-colored bamboo. Soon, he probably sensed a certain direction. Without any hesitation, he chased after him despite the hard thunder curtain. But, those two thieves are also very fast. Change direction quickly. And Qin Feng's senses are getting weaker and weaker. It seems that the other party has discovered it. He can sense the location of the 9-colored bamboo. There are ways to cover it up. To the end. Qin Feng can no longer sense the location of Juseju. Completely blocked by the other party, he can only stop. Looking at the vast deep sky in front of me with a gloomy face. Many means. Extraordinary charm. Can tangle with forbidden creatures. Unparalleled genius. Just like the original me and a few others. Qin Feng looked cold. With his current state, there is nothing you can do about the two juniors. Suffered a huge loss. Even the 9-color bamboo was stolen. Such a junior. Naturally, he can be called a peerless genius. Body with great charm. So bold. Are you really not afraid of being liquidated when you go through the tribulation in the future? Qin Feng's eyes are deep. There is a cold light flashing. A faint smell of taboo permeates the air. The surrounding stars trembled under the pressure. Provoke taboos. Steal fetish. Get a big opportunity. Great fortune. What benefits do you get now? What kind of disaster we may suffer in the future? Everything has pros and cons, good and bad. They got the fetish. By supreme chance. Can dominate peers. Walking at the forefront of the invincible road to lead the sacraments. But they may also be on the right path to overcome tribulations in the future. Pay back this big cause and effect. They may know that they may be liquidated in the future, but still dare to do this. It's like risking your life to fight for the road to invincibility. If you succeed, you will be invincible in the world. Disdainful of all bones. Failure to achieve body and death will result in death. Qin Feng wouldn't just settle it like that. Even if those two people really want to go through the tribulation in the future, might even succeed, he will still make them repay this cause and effect. This is what they must do. Destined to endure. If you can bear it and die, that's no one's fault. If you can become an emperor, it means it's fate. Act according to your heart's wishes. Especially, he is doing mental state practice. He doesn't have a final jump. There is no way to become an invincible emperor overnight. He does not have 20,000 years of invincibility. Cultivate that invincible state of mind. So he is on his way to immortality. You can only take your time. Mental state practice. Naturally, you cannot go against your own will. Have to look at yourself. Follow your heart. Immaculate mood. Never change forever. Only then can we move forward courageously. 14 years later, Qin Feng sensed the location of the 9-color lord again. He didn't hesitate. Follow directly. He moves quickly. The supreme power beyond rapid radiation. Across the distant starry sky. And this time, he caught the two thieves. But those two thieves still have the ground intelligence fruit. Escape again. And Qin Feng can sense the 9-color bamboo. His energy is much weaker. However, he used his own energy for a long time. Growing 9-color bamboo. That's his super popular machine that lasts for 30,000 years. Has a unique taboo charm. Even those two thieves. There may be some extraordinary means. It's also difficult to erase in a short time. His chi on the 9-colored bamboo. Deep in a starry sky. Siblings Guo Yiqin and Guo Feng. With all the injuries. Hiding deep in a dark planet. They had just escaped from the forbidden creatures again. This is already the third time. The first 2 times have already made them famous in the world. So that everyone in the world can avoid them. Thinking that disaster might happen to them at any time. Sister, sorry. Responsible for the trust. I couldn't control it for a moment. Revealed the opportunity of 9-color lord. But why is this supreme 9-color lord different from ancient Emperor Xianding? Why are you still staring at us? Wouldn't he continue to sleep? Maintain a certain state of awakening. Wouldn't it be too much? Consume its vitality and strength. Ji Yuiqing was also puzzled. But that's the taboo supreme. Taboo areas. It's normal that they don't understand. This taboo supreme is indeed unusual. Maintain wakefulness. Maybe there's something to do. Or are you planning something? It's hard to predict those kinds of characters. The only good thing is the loss of a mere 9-color bamboo. He was not forced to appear in person. Otherwise we won't be able to escape. Of course he couldn't guess the real situation of Juseju Supreme, but that taboo. As long as the Supreme Being is not born in his true form, then they can barely cope with it for now. Although 9-color bamboo is precious in the Mine Valley, he is the supreme genius. But the true form of the Forbidden Supreme is born. There is a huge price to pay. Consumption is huge. It's not a matter of life and death. Generally, they are not born easily. They stole ancient Emperor Xuanding's artifacts before. It also didn't cause the ancient Emperor Xianding to be born. Even they walk the world behind them. Make a name for yourself. It did not attract the ancient Emperor Xianding to attack and kill him. Explain those taboos supreme. Most of the time, he is still in a deep sleep. Not paying attention to facts. Not to mention that the true identity was born. Won't wake up easily. It's just that this 9-colored bamboo supreme is unusual. They can see. 9-colored bamboo supreme uses the way of life. But they couldn't recognize any of the invincibles from the past. Next, we must step up our efforts to eliminate the supreme opportunity on the 9-colored bamboo. He handed over the 9-seed bamboo to his younger brother. Prepare to retreat for a while. The result is so unreliable. Give him such a big accident. Although my younger brother is extremely talented, no less than him. But maybe he grew up under his care since childhood. Not qualified enough. A little too dependent on him. Not so reliable in many cases. This kind of character can really make you an enemy in the future. But now thief incurred taboos. Cannot be separated at will. I want my brother to go out and be independent. At this time, Sister, Song Huaixin told us before. He discovered a forbidden creature. We had close contact 3 times. Didn't wake each other up. You say. Can we attract the supreme 9-colored bamboo? Contact with that forbidden creature. Is it possible for 2 forbidden creatures to fight? Ji Yuiqing Classical Chinese. Frown. It sounds like that at first glance. But this is a plot against forbidden creatures. That level of existence. Is it possible to be plotted by a lower-ranking person at will? This is too ignorant. And the taboo creature Song Huaixin mentioned. Doesn't seem like a surprise. But there is no guarantee that there will be any special circumstances. There may be great terror. The most important thing is, among forbidden creatures, as long as there is no feud or conflict of interest, it is not easy or possible for bloodshed to break out. It's not that Xiangli will fight to the death, but... Ji Yuiqing thought for a while. Finally, I agreed to my brother's suggestion. Contact Song Huaixin. Ask him for the exact location. Lure the 9-colored bamboo supreme over there. See what happens. He seemed smart, thoughtful, but there is always an energy in my heart that refuses to admit defeat. Always likes to cause trouble. Calculating forbidden creatures. This is so crazy. Too dangerous. But the more so, the more people can't help but want to try it. Not many years in life. Not much wind, a few blows. Wouldn't it be a waste of youthful years? Good. It depends on whether Song Huaixin has the courage. Even though that's what he said. But he thinks that people like Song Huaixin, those who dare to come into close contact with forbidden creatures 3 times, there should be nothing that I dare not do. Not many days. Siblings Gu Yiqin and Gu Yifeng, just somewhere under the starry sky, met with two other people. Those two people are Song Huaixin and Zhong Wang, also a bold person. I also broke through forbidden places and Jedi. Exposed to taboo things. The four met and had some exchanges. Siblings Gu Yiqin and Gu Yifeng learned that the forbidden creature discovered by Song Huaixin, in the ruins of an unknown ancient battlefield somewhere. There is an area of bloody evil energy there. Very scary. Reached taboo failure level. It is impossible for ordinary people to get close or go deep, but Song Huaixin is not an ordinary person. He went in. After going into a certain depth, I vaguely saw a large abyss, and vaguely saw a certain figure among them. But that's all. He can't really get close to that sacred garden, because the bloody evil spirit there is terrifying and boundless, intense and irreversible. Even the best in the world, if you force your way in at will, I'm afraid it will melt instantly. There is that taboo opportunity that overwhelms everything in the world. However, although Song Huaixin was unable to go deeper, but there was no threat from forbidden creatures. He boldly explored. I was lucky enough to find two quasi-gods. He did find, near the sacred garden, there are also at least 3 more quasi-gods, through the bloody evil spirit, exuding that extraordinary charm. It's a blessing from heaven. It's just that he can't get close, therefore cannot be obtained. He once contacted the lonely siblings. I want to cooperate to get the quasi-divine object. It was just that the siblings were alone at that time. Provoked the previous one again. Genuine forbidden creatures. So I hid for the time being. Dare not take any action. I am enough by myself. You all stay away. Wait for my news. After in-depth exchanges and discussions, Gu Yiqing finally decided to act alone. Let the younger brother and Song Huaixin, Zhong Wang and the 3 of them hid and waited. Better not even try to peek. Just wait for news from him. This kind of thing. It's better to go alone. The other 3 people's decisions about lonely and love also agree. And the 4 of them have combined each other's methods. Provide more support to lone and love. Since we have to cooperate. Naturally, you can't be too stingy and insincere. As for what they want to do, just trying to get 2 forbidden creatures to meet. See what happens. They are not sure if it will pay off. Even one bad move can lead to great disaster. But they still want to take the risk. Let's see if it's possible to break through the bloody evil spirit, get many quasi-gods in the core area inside, or simply understand the bloody evil spirit inside. The secret of the forbidden creature. It's also a game. Discover the ancient secrets of forbidden creatures. It is also the great joy of life. And use ordinary methods. They are completely inaccessible. Bloody evil core area. So I can only try. It's a super forbidden method. After making a decision, Gu Yiqing prepared for another 3 years. Only then did we start taking action. This day, he came to what Song Huaixin discovered, the ruins of the ancient battlefield. When I see the scene here, with his current knowledge, I can't help but feel shocked. The evil spirit condenses here, forever. Remaining corpses, the weapons and battle traces are too terrifying. Even if it is decayed and ancient, there is still a faint and disturbing opportunity. He couldn't imagine some ancient time. What kind of horrific bloody battle broke out here? It's like there's one. The heavenly soldiers and generals who swept across the universe in the Western year. Conquer and start a war here. I'm afraid there may be forbidden creatures that died here. Gu Yiqing quickly found the bloody evil area, and go directly into it. But arrive at the core area. Feel the terrifying power that can dissolve almost everything. It's also difficult for him to go deeper, unless there is a more powerful taboo means to protect. For example, an earth weapon or an earth-level treasure, etc. Gu Yiqing was convinced. But that is a certain life-saving treasure. Not for breaking through levels. Earth soldiers of the world. Those are all the treasures of the supreme orthodoxy. He doesn't have the face to borrow it. But now he has a supreme divine object. 9-color bamboo. And by a certain taboo creature. And the breath of life has nurtured. It may not be much worse than ground soldiers. I want to see that forbidden creature here. What is the special situation? I don't know how to attract the 9-colored bamboo supreme. What will happen? He, Song Huaixin and others can all see that. The forbidden creatures in this bloody evil aura should not be normal. There may be something wrong with the status. Probably dead long ago. Of course, it's possible that there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the soul is sleeping in evil. As for the nine-colored bamboo supreme, although it doesn't look like an ordinary forbidden creature, but it should be the real taboo supreme. I just wonder if I can understand the secrets here. And will it lead to something big after the insight? Gu Iching directly took out the nine-color bamboo, waved as a plank for the time being. Dispel the strong bloody evil spirit ahead. There are traces of Taoism carved by him and his younger brother on the nine-color bamboo. It is a way of cultivating the Tao with the help of divine objects. Moreover, it is the result of the Taoism shared by their siblings, can confirm each other and accelerate progress. Gu Iching activated the Taoist marks on the nine-color bamboo. Resonate with it. It can slightly strengthen the magical power of nine-colored bamboo. Of course. In fact, it didn't strengthen much. Now this nine-color bamboo mainly depends on the power of the divine object itself, and the remaining forbidden life opportunities above. Open the way from nine-color bamboo. Gu Iching seizes the time and goes deep quickly, because she was worried about the nine-colored bamboo supreme will kill immediately. In fact, Qin Feng did indeed sense the nine-color master very quickly, just this time, but it made him a little confused. Only 3 years later, the miracle of nine-color master was exposed again. Would be so careless, accidentally or on purpose. However, although Qin Feng has this doubt, but he set off immediately, because he's not afraid of anything. Able to threaten him. Only those forbidden creatures, and 2 little ants. Is it possible that we can also invite forbidden creatures? There is a huge gap in class status. There is no possibility of cooperation. Even if they contributed great benefits, or the supreme treasure, it is also impossible to invite forbidden creatures. Will only die faster. If you want to try it, ants. Another taboo for enmity between living beings. Or if a conflict breaks out. That's also very ignorant and stupid. Qin Feng quickly locked onto the position of nine-color bamboo in the starry sky. He flies across the stars and radiates supreme power. Taboo chi permeates the air. In an instant, the mighty cloud descended on that starry sky. Then, the forbidden power sweeps across the starry sky. He soon gains some insight into the situation. An ancient battlefield. There was a great war. Probably the Western New Year. Someone once conscripted an era. Almost all the top strong men. Let's start the war here. To conquer and destroy a certain terrifying creature. Or some taboo force or something like that. Since ancient times, this kind of war started with the strength of an era. It doesn't happen very rarely, but usually they only go around in the kind of places where geniuses are everywhere. Only in the golden age when strong men are like the sea of stars can there be. Qin Feng also saw the girl for the first time. She still holds her nine-color bamboo in her hand, as forbidden. Taboo. Means, also mentally trembling. Can feel that. In one thought. It will destroy him from the great invisible terror. He also held a Xian Emperor talisman in his hand. But he didn't run away immediately. But hold the nine-color bamboo in your hand steadily. Even, he dared to raise his head directly. Look towards the source of this forbidden divine power. Sharp eyes. Then smile disdainfully. As if provoking. Especially after he discovered the nine-colored bamboo supreme. When you don't attack him immediately. That kind of provocation is more intense. He is even contemptuous of the other party. Contempt a taboo figure who might once have been invincible. Have to say, today's young people are really brave. Don't know how high the sky is and how thick the earth is. Gu Iching is actually waiting. The nine-colored bamboo supreme launches an attack. Because he wants to give it a try. Taboo supreme's attack. Can you awaken the forbidden creatures in this ancient battlefield? Wake up or not. The noise shouldn't even be small. Something big might happen. Maybe it can reveal this ancient battlefield. The real situation today. Qin Feng saw Gu Iching. I can also feel it vaguely. The provocation from the other party. But his mood remained unchanged. Expression silent. With his current realm and vision. Indifferent to the world. Only taboo people can scare him. How about an ant? He doesn't need to look any further. He just kept pointing out. Stars from all directions gather. A surging and majestic microcondensation. With a certain edge. Extremely sharp. It seems to be able to crush the mortal world. The entire ancient battlefield was penetrated instantly. The earth shattered. More than a dozen pieces of land debris fell. That kind of power. No one in the world can be trusted. But Gu Yiqing activated the Emperor Xian mansion in time and escaped. It's just that this time the backlash was strong. The injury is more serious than before. But this time nothing like that time with Xianding Ancient Emperor. Knocked down midway, forced to consume one more netherworld. Mainly because he is much stronger now than before. So it only took one to escape from the underworld. It's no surprise that Qin Feng is so strong. That kind of underworld, this is just to beautify the descendants. It is used to escape when faced with taboo creatures. It's not easy to track him down with his current ability. In the blink of an eye, Qin Feng has crossed the endless starry sky, came here despite the heavy thunder curtain. He at this time. I'm also curious about the situation of the half-dead man on the ancient battlefield. Among the ruins of ancient battlefield, that strong and eternal blood-colored evil spirit, already collapsed. That forbidden level of power gradually dissipates. The divine source of the core area, it was also shattered by the impact. If the forbidden creature in the divine source, if you still have the power, he should have woken up long ago and struck back. But not. But the forbidden creature finally woke up. Inspired the last bit of strength. Barely able to maintain his body. Not directly decaying into dust. Qin Feng also came to the ancient battlefield. He looked at the forbidden creature, and quickly gained insight into the general situation of this taboo creature. That's a man. Hair withered and white. Tall and straight body. Face looks like a young parrot. But there's a rotten air about him that's like a dead thing. The ancient battlefield was fierce and fierce. Blow from the man. Keep blowing away the dust. Let his pretense and body gradually become incomplete. Intender. In his opinion, man opposite. It can be said to be a forbidden creature, but maybe not quite. Because he was not once in a certain life. The invincible emperor. Just a person who is infinitely close to the right path and successful. In other words, some of the most powerful people have succeeded. If there had been an emperor at that time, it is impossible for a fool to succeed on the right path. Will be suppressed. Break into the earth by force. It is possible to die. But there are always people who are extraordinary. Even if the emperor suppressed it at that time, I also survived even more terrifying catastrophes. Finally, it was recognized by the Supreme Heavenly Heart. Be baptized by a small portion of the Supreme Source of Truth. Such people are generally called alternative enlightened persons. Although still far inferior to the great emperor, but it has some earth-level powers. It can also be called a forbidden creature. For example, in front of Qin Feng, the situation is about to completely decay. The man who turned into dust should be a different kind of enlightened person. Alternative enlightened people usually live in the same era as a great emperor. So that man should have been sealed by divine fate by the great emperor of his generation. 900,000 years have passed. Looks like him completely confused. Failed to wake up. Missed the disaster. Completely rotten. Already useless. Man muttering to himself. Know your situation. He looks complicated. At a loss. There are also memories. Regret. But when he looked at Qin Feng. See that piece of hard-bone thunderwood? I guessed it was a forbidden creature. His expression regained his spiritual power. There is even a faint hint of iron-blooded murderous intent in his eyes. Fighting spirit. Even if he is very corrupt. At this moment, an unyielding and powerful momentum still began to rise in his body. Iron-blooded spiritual power is never easy. You are the emperor of future generations. Who is he from 900,000 years ago? Qin Feng Wenyan did not answer. Just watched quietly. He probably saw that the man opposite him was probably a person with intentions. Or intention followers. Intentional guardians can also. A different kind of enlightened person. Still has extremely strong combat power. When disaster breaks out in the world, such a person is fully qualified. Capable of resisting disaster. So there will be some alternative enlightened people. Ask the current emperor to seal them. Reserve your own strength until disaster breaks out. Reborn to fight disaster. Such people are intentioners. Because they are not the same travelers as other forbidden creatures. So it's called intention. But obviously, the man in front of me might have been there before he was sealed. Already have more serious problems. So during the sealing process, I was completely devastated. I can't wake up on my own. Long years have passed. His divine essence has also been exhausted. Vitality collapses. I still have one last sword. The man didn't respond when he saw Qin Feng. He's not annoyed either. His expression is still cold. At the same time, the remaining power in his body gradually condensed on the fingertips. A swordsmanship edge that exudes a decayed and ancient atmosphere. Scattered. Although weak. But there is a kind of peerless sharpness. There is even an indescribable local charm. As if I was once unique in the world. Qin Feng saw this. Still speechless. Still watching silently. He has no ill feelings toward the person who intended it. Even willing to show respect to people like them. The premise is that you won't provoke him, a taboo creature who has never done anything bad, for no reason. There are better taboo creatures in this world who have never done anything bad. He could tell that the man opposite should have been in his era. Along with the great emperor at that time, he conquered forbidden creatures. Even a mythical forbidden area. Even if the war ends. I also want to seal myself to the next life. Use yourself to resist disasters or catastrophes. The other party will naturally not like forbidden creatures. But Qin Feng is no longer here either. He could see that the other party actually had no objections anymore. It's completely dried up a long time ago. Just a few strands of edge left. So, therefore, he just watched quietly, willing to witness the other party's final demise in person. It's like giving such an ancient hero a ride. That man didn't swing his last sword in the end. On the contrary, after the last few rays of sharpness were released, the body could no longer hold on. Under the fierce and strong wind, the iron-blooded deep zone that once conquered all realms of the universe, gradually being scraped into dust. The man looked sad in the end, shook his head and sighed, still feeling unwilling to regret. After all, he was still unwilling to reach Chengdu. Didn't really leave a glorious mark in history. Even if you become an intender, in the end, it just rots to death. Not exhausted the last effort. But when he lived in the same era as a great emperor, this ending may be doomed. Even if he is sealed until he is born in a later era. It is also extremely difficult to become an emperor in the right way. Because he has already failed on the right path. There will be no chance. Moreover, during Qin Feng's years, he won't be as sharp as before. Can display ancient and modern times. He should be a peerless figure in the era of the loyalist emperor. Maybe it's that square view. Qin Feng watched the man completely disappear. He thought back to the ancient past. There is a high probability that this man is with the loyal emperor. Because he is really awesome. Even the loyal emperor. I am also willing to treat him as a person of the same level. And the loyal emperor is a person who looks at the past and present. Terrible enemies who are all extremely powerful and invincible. Because he once conquered the taboos in the world. And sank a mythical restricted area. That mythical forbidden area is an ancient bronze legend. This is a forbidden place that has existed since ancient times. But the emperor at that time was deterred. But it has never appeared in the world since then. However, that's nearly 1,000,000 years of ancient history. Ancient books that have survived to the present day. A lot of content is blurred. The loyal emperor keeps spreading rumors like this. There are earthly giants who may live forever. How will it end? No one knows. But there is a high probability that he is dead as well. Qin Feng briefly recalled. The one that was once so glorious. It seems that we are about to be swept into a terrifying era of taboos in the world. Then he left. I conveniently took away a few diluted spiritual items. Although the real talent is still far inferior to Juseiju, but it's not useless to him. The universe has existed forever for countless epochs. The splendid eras since ancient times. All have been buried. Countless extraordinary people. Even the invincible. Save his brilliant and wonderful life to the end. Maybe there are only a few words left. Extremely plain written records. Only in this world. Dig out some real traces of the past. Only then is it possible to see. That era of old. How cruel and terrifying is it? But so what? Times are moving forward. Some things will eventually be completely buried. Some ancient history and secrets will disappear completely. The day will never be revealed again. Qin Feng continues to understand his own killing path. For the two thieves who stole his 9-color bamboo, he won't waste time actively pursuing it. Or always pay attention to the news about them in the world. This kind of thing is not worth his troubles. It can't disturb his mood either. But if he still feels something, or passively let him know where the two thieves are, he doesn't mind taking action to end the cause and effect. It's like two ants crawling into the ground. He didn't want to waste his energy running around to chase him, but if the ant comes out of the ground and lets him see, he doesn't mind stepping on it silently. Practice with his current state of mind. Idle things actually don't matter at all. Even if one of the supreme talents is lost, he can still maintain a perfect mood. Entering a state of cultivation. Other side. After Gu Yiqing successfully escaped, she hid for several more years before carefully coming out. Entering the starry sky with my brother, Song Huaixin and Zheng Wang meet up. Naturally, one person is sent as the vanguard. I went to explore the ruins of the ancient battlefield. After confirming that there are no forbidden powers still active there, they all carefully set foot on the ruins of the ancient battlefield. Start searching for various treasures. This ancient battlefield has been shattered. The bloody evil spirit dissipates. There are no taboo things that can threaten them. They all gained a lot. Although there are no gods here, but there are many rare spiritual objects that are rarely seen in the world. Of great use to them. Can make them move forward faster. Outpace others in the race to the invincible road. Get the chance to take the lead in overcoming the tribulation on the right path. The only thing they didn't understand, it was the forbidden creature that was originally on the ancient battlefield. What is going on? But they guessed. That shouldn't be a normal taboo creature. It's even possible that he's actually dead. Their cooperation this time can be considered a success. Although I provoked that 9-colored bamboo supreme again, and used the other party to defeat the bloody evil spirit in the ruins of the ancient battlefield. But they gained a lot. It's definitely worth it. In fact, solitary love, Gu Yifeng, Song Huaixin. Other peerless geniuses, if you practice steadily, they are still more likely, lost on the road to invincibility, become a foil of the times. But now, their crazy adventure, make them rise above others. They can take the lead. That invincible opportunity. In a blink of an eye. More than 600 years have passed. Siblings Gu Yiqing and Gu Yifeng, plus Song Huaixin and Zheng Wang. These four people have already practiced to the point. The ultimate realm in the world. Only one final month left. Righteousness. And practice till now. They have all accumulated extremely profound, powerful qi machine. I can hold it down anymore. Wanton disclosure. Infinitely close to forbidden power. It seems as if the mirror will be shattered into pieces at any time. But the four of them are also each other's competitors. And among them, the lonely siblings are actually a little further ahead. They all want to take the lead in the right path. But they won't try the right path easily. We need to be more prepared to guard against accidents. And finally, siblings Gu Yiqing and Gu Yifeng. Be the first to start overcoming the tribulation on the right path. They simultaneously lead to the establishment of the right path, on this invincible road. Even if they are siblings with deep feelings, we don't intend to give in to each other either. We still have to fight for success or failure. In this era, the righteous finally appeared, and two at the same time. Rumble. Two vast seas of thunder press down on the starry sky. Endless lightning flashes, shine through deep space. The breath of destruction, sweeping the entire universe. That is the right way to calamity. Stop the world's most powerful people. The final level of the ultimate jump. Once you get through, it's just one step to reach the top of the mountain. Invincible. Divine power can overwhelm eternity. After the lonely siblings began to cause earthly calamities, Zheng Wang also followed closely behind. It also directly triggers the earth tribulation. Try righteous force. He knows how powerful the lonely siblings are, worried that they might actually take that step, not willing to gamble that they will fail, so he also takes the straight path. There is also a final fight. But this was not an impulsive act on his part. He was also well prepared. Be confident enough to cross the border. For a while, the sea of thunder in the three realms is boiling and surging. A series of divine thunder split the starry sky, tear apart Xiaoyu. The entire universe trembles. Three righteous men appeared at the same time. Everyone is shocked. This may mean, a new land may appear today. Open a new glorious era. Siblings Gu Yiqing and Gu Yifeng, seeing Zheng Wang following them, directly seek the right path to overcome the calamity. They weren't too surprised. But Song Huaixin didn't follow them directly. This surprised them a bit. Song Huaixin is definitely a person who is beneficial to the right path, not necessarily any worse than the siblings from the solitary family. Rumble. The three supreme tribulations collapsed. Shake the stars in the sky. Shock the world. Gai Yiqing. Ji Yuifeng. The three of them with Zhong Wang are incomparably braver, going up against the pitfalls. Blast one after another with the world-destroying divine thunder. They were also quickly hit hard, covered with bruises, but his momentum has not diminished at all. Always shocking. Go forward indomitably. That kind of determination to be on the right path, as if it will last through eternity. The world is shocked, thinking, maybe this is the real genius. He is a person who is qualified to create glory in this era. But such a huge righteous festival. Shake the universe. Even though almost all forbidden creatures have been sleeping for eternity, but some people were still awakened. Is it you? In the end, we have come this far. Then, something. It's time to pay back. The first person to be alarmed. Naturally it's Qin Feng, this forbidden creature that never sleeps. He looked into the sky. Du Jie looking at the Guo siblings. I recognized him as the thief who stole his 9-colored bamboo. 9-colored bamboo, the supreme divine creature. It was a huge benefit to the siblings. Can push them to gradually surpass their peers. Take the lead on the road to invincibility. But there are gains and there are losses. Is that 9-colored bamboo something that belongs to Qin Feng? Not that easy to get. Some costs still have to be borne. Qin Feng directly shot 2 scenes. In an instant, the vast forbidden divine power falls lightly. The void roars. The universe is shattered. The sky is full of stars trembling, as if falling. Such terrifying power. Make the world sweat. The first thing I thought was that forbidden creatures were taking action. Is it to prevent the person involved from pursuing the right path? Think of this. Makes people feel more powerful. Lonely and style and lonely and love. Naturally, I felt it immediately. This vast divine power coming towards them. But of course they had already expected it. Maybe subject to liquidation of taboo creatures. And recognize it. It's the 9-colored bamboo supreme. That kind of endless life destiny. So recognizable. But they were already prepared. But after all, it is the taboo supreme. No matter how prepared they are, they don't have any confidence. Able to block forbidden attacks and kills during tribulation. But they will definitely try their best. Just look at the fate in the end. This is the invincible road. Full of cruelty and danger. A divine garment on Ji Yuifeng's body is shining brightly and smoothly. There is chaotic air flowing. Extraordinary power. That's his Hunyuan Shi. It is connected by the supreme divine object such as Hunyuan stone. At present, it is just a gas distribution. But he already has superpowers. And this Hunyuan stone. It was him and his sister, digged from the ancient emperor's hiding place. Lone Yi be punched out. The Hunyuan 11th turmoil in the body. Make it even more powerful. Shocking ripples in the sky. Stir the starry sky. But, Earth tribulation divine thunder. Taboo. 2 major kills. Rushing towards him. Lone Yi Bi can't hold them all. His left shoulder was struck by a divine lightning. Flesh and blood flying everywhere. I can barely keep my body steady. Almost falling. Immediately afterwards, the palm of the 9-colored bamboo supreme. Also overwhelming. Knock him back directly. Whole body shock. Blood splatter. Suffered unimaginable damage. If it weren't for the earth tribulation and thunder sea, it weakened a lot of the taboo supreme's attack power for him. I'm afraid he won't be able to persist anymore. The loneliness on the other side is just as hard to bear. He holds a 9-color bamboo wings. Brilliant and brilliant. Thin waves of extraordinary rays of light. Same awesome power. Time can be pushed horizontally. But he also couldn't resist the power of the true taboo supreme. There is still a qualitative gap between them. However, the 2 siblings have accumulated too much. Release your own essence. Most of the injuries recovered immediately. His momentum is still unstoppable. It seems that he is going to kill the invincible road in one fell swoop. But soon, 2 more taboo creatures take action. We also want to prevent the brothers from the lonely family from following the right path. But that's all the cause and effect they owe. 2 forbidden powers and 2 explosions in the depths of the starry sky. The surging divine power entertains guests across the distant starry sky. With terrifying intelligence that destroys everything in the world. Pressing on Ji Yuifeng and Ji Yuiqing. Xianding Ancient Emperor. Lan Tianzuan. Gu Yiqing recognized this moment. Which two forbidden creatures attacked and killed them? Indeed, they also provoked these two forbidden creatures. Now they are going through the tribulation on the right path. These two taboo figures who were once invincible in the world. They were also not pardoned. Let them be bold for their arrogance. As a price to pay. Pay back that great cause and effect. Guo Feng's body was covered with blood. The whole person is almost shapeless. One after another, the earthly tribulation divine thunder struck down. Make it difficult for him to take another step forward. Even trembling all over. As if falling at any moment. The right path fails. Guo Yiqing's situation is also not good, but they still squeezed out the last strength. Take a leap. Forward again. At this time, Gu Yiqing jumps to a higher distance. And I feel like I finally touched that level. The supreme barrier in the dark. Feel an unparalleled charm. He didn't hesitate. Hit it head on. Unparalleled ferocity. As if all heaven and earth are unstoppable. The whole universe shook, just at this moment. All living things in the universe. Everyone feels a trembling feeling from their souls. Even the heaven and earth rumbled and shook. Purple chi contends. Rays of light across the sky. Many strange phenomena appeared. It seems to indicate something. The world is even more shocked. I can guess that someone might actually take that step. People are excited. Do they want to witness it with their own eyes? The new emperor is born. The coming of a new era. But when the lonely and love is almost completely successful, the younger brother of Lone and B, but it also completely failed. Although he tried his best to get one step further, but in the end it was still unsustainable. Finally, the lonely ant and bee fell from the starry sky. A series of terrifying divine thunders drowned him, completely penetrated it. Feel sorry for it. This can be called the first righteous tragedy at that time. Gu Feng is indeed very powerful. He is a top person in the world, but he was actually attacked and killed by 3 taboo creatures. Although he has arrived in the end, the edge of that supreme barrier, but I still haven't been able to get into it in one step. In the end, he died and disappeared. Gu Yiqing saw his younger brother dead. Some kind of burst of red power and brilliance. Furious. Boiling with murderous intent. In fact, he had already considered it. The various tragic consequences of today's righteous path just really happens. Still no one can really accept it. And, moreover, even if he has taken the most critical step, as long as he can take another step forward, he may be able to usher in the supreme heart of heaven. The baptism of Dao Yuan, the ultimate sublimation, becoming the great emperor of the world, invincible forever. But he was teetering on the verge of breaking down at this moment, and was on the verge of reaching his limit. Terrifying earthly divine thunders roared one after another, seemingly refusing to let him go. He easily climbed up in one step, but it would have made him fall and turn into thunder slag. But at this time, deep in the starry sky, the forbidden power broke out again, looking at the endless starry sky, and in an instant, it moved towards the lonely. Yiqing came to shoot him and wanted to completely shock him and not allow him to take the final step. Guo Yiqing sensed this forbidden power. I also feel vaguely desperate. It is impossible for him to resist another taboo attack. That forbidden creature. The timing is spot on. Don't waste strength. Just this one blow is enough to knock him down. However, accident happens again. Song Huaixin finally stood up. He also saw the right time. He stood in front of Guo Yiqing in time. In fact, his expression is still tangled. Not firm enough. On this invincible road, he shouldn't do this. Because he is also on the way. He should also have his own invincibility. But he couldn't help but stand up. Some emotion in the heart. Plus the current calamity. That beautiful figure about to die tragically. Let her be confused. The purest instinct made the decision for her. She is no longer an invincible genius. Becoming a fool at this moment. Poof. Song Huaixin broke out everything about himself. For Guo Yiqing, he resisted the attack of the Taboo Supreme. Her whole body is almost broken. Flesh and blood splatter. But even so, still has a small semi-forbidden power. Shot into the sea of thunder and tribulation. But after the sea of thunder further weakened the power, she finally resisted. No direct failure and fall. Song Huaixin. You. Gu Yiqing saw this scene. Also extremely shocked. Never expected. Song Huaixin, also a competitor. He was actually willing to protect him at the cost of his life. Another forbidden power. At this moment, it exploded violently. We still have to kill Jiu Yiqing right here. And this time, Song Huaixin, who has become a fool. I don't mind continuing to be stupid. He braced himself, once again blocking the taboo with one's body. Finally he was knocked down into the deep space, turned into a blurry blood man. Don't know whether to live or die. But Jiu Yiqing took advantage of this opportunity. Accumulate final strength, finally took the last step forward. And that's it. Made him feel a unprecedented power surge towards him, instantly boosting his momentum and victory. All injuries recovered quickly. The emergence of Song Huaixin. Become a flower protector. This kind of thing makes even the taboo creatures not quite expect it. This also gave Jiu Yiqing some time to breathe. Go further. This is the cause and effect of Jiu Yiqing. It should be his responsibility. But there was a fool standing in front of me. To protect flowers and become enlightened. And this time, a forbidden creature strikes again deep in the starry sky. Still unwilling to let go of this lonely ant love, the little thief who stole the opportunity to steal their artifacts, just arrived at the place. But it's already a little late at this time. The lonely ant love has begun to transform and sublimate. She has now entered forbidden territory. Momentum keeps rising. Eyes full of power. One glance through the starry sky. 5 air engines fall down. Seems to suppress the world of mortals. The lonely ant waved the broken 9-color candle teeth. A 9-color ripple machine. Directly resisted the taboo power that just hit. He even wants to spread his divine power. Try to track down the forbidden creature that was just attacked. Finally. Take that step completely alone. Leading to the erosion of the supreme heaven's heart. The whole person's momentum suddenly rose to the extreme. His body, soul, Daoxing, rapid transformation and sublimation. Become one. Achieve ultimate pleasure. This process occurs rapidly. Directional pouring from the highest path, reaching the top in an instant. Stable state. There is almost no opportunity to snatch the Dao fruit, or the possibility of attacking and killing while the realm is unstable. Big shock in the universe. One after another, the heroes of order cut through the world. Thousands of colors fall down. There seems to be an ancient mythical beast flying among the stars. All kinds of strange things come out. Heaven roars. Everything is wonderful. A kind of cosmic Caucasus is rapidly forming. Suppress the world. Unique in the world. The world is shocked. At this moment, universe starry sky. One person alone to reach the top. Black hair scattered. Move with the wind. A pair of exquisite fur that will last forever. Blooming with invincible divine light. The earth is filled with anger. As if trying to penetrate the world of time. Success with love alone. Become the ultimate winner of this era. Proud forever. Above all else. He is just standing in the starry sky. Wonderful area, smooth flow. Release of supremacy. In an instant, the entire universe can be negatively pressured. Truly unique in the world. Overwhelming. Even the taboos in the world must be feared and frightened. Feeling indifferent lies in being unruly in the world. But even so, I can save my brother even if him alone. Song Huaixin is not dead. Very tenacious. Without the earth tribulation thunder sea weakening. In case of forbidden power. Resist 2 taboo supreme attacks. But still not dead. He was saved in time by Lone and Qing. But also disabled. Cultivation as a foundation. The destiny of animal arts is almost lost. Even with Lone and Qing's current power of the earth. It is impossible to let Song Huaixin recover everything. Song Huaixin will eventually be short-lived. Can't live long. It is also difficult to return to the peak state. As for Shengwang and the Jiu family siblings, they are on the right path at the same time. He died in the end. Died in the sea of earth tribulation and thunder. Couldn't get through. The main reason is that he leaves no room for anything. If he retreats when faced with difficulties, quit before you know you won't be able to get through easily. Maybe he won't die yet. So when they were a group of 4. In the end, only Jiu Yiqing and Song Huaixin were left. Xianding ancient Emperor Lan Tianzuan. There are also 2 people whose true identities are unknown. Jiu Yiqing looked into the deep sky. The divine power of the earth spreads, unparalleled in the world. It makes the universe tremble. For the first time, creatures of this era feel such overwhelming power. I just feel that the description of the courier in the history books is serious and not exaggerated at all. Really unparalleled. One person can overwhelm everything in the world, and it can go against the world forever. At this time, Yu Yiqing has begun to pursue the Taboo Supreme who had taken action when she was on the right path. He can confirm the Taboo Supreme who has taken action. Only ancient Emperor Xianding and Luan Tianzuan. There are two others whose identities he cannot determine. One is the Supreme who had the 9-color bracelet stolen by him. Use the way of life. One is a forbidden creature that seems to have never been contacted before. It uses some kind of ancient ice tunnel edge. It is also difficult to determine the true identity. But those forbidden creatures have been hiding in the world for too long. Hiding is what they do best. Even if I am lonely, trace traces with the power of the earth, capture secrets, causal fluctuations, but still not much gain. All key traces have been destroyed and erased. But he couldn't let those forbidden creatures go so easily. Even if each other's grievances are entangled, it was originally caused by their siblings. But there is nothing right or wrong on the road to invincibility. Yu Yiqing didn't think she had done anything wrong either. The invincible road and the road to eternal life are still too narrow. Walk up there, even if you don't know each other. There is no grudge. It is also difficult to coexist. What's more, they are siblings who depend on each other for life and have a deep relationship. If you want Yu Yiqing not to take revenge, how is that possible? Qin Feng didn't expect that either. That little thief actually succeeded in the right way in the end. He also underestimated the opponent to a certain extent. I never expected that there would be a flower protector. But that's it. He can only remain silent temporarily. No more going out to practice. Even if this little thief doesn't become the emperor, there will always be someone else who becomes emperor. Qin Feng was still as silent as ever when he arrived. Don't reveal miracles at will. He continued to practice and gain enlightenment. Take your own path to immortality. Become an emperor with love alone. So lonely. Become a lonely emperor. In the years to come. While he was perfecting his own conduct as an emperor. While pursuing the forbidden enemy. His character has always been a bit crazy. Act recklessly. Not afraid to take risks. But he is also determined. Kill decisively. Establish a goal and move forward without hesitation. 3,000 years after becoming emperor. He felt that Song Huaixin was about to die. Help him survive. Also borrow its seeds. Left behind his own heirs. Very strong. Can't tolerate Song Huaixin's rejection. 7,500 years after becoming emperor. Yu Yiqing finally calculated after long years of exploration. Captured the location of Xianding ancient emperor in a hidden deep space. He suddenly burst out with great power. Kill them brazenly. In an instant, the ancient Emperor Xuanding's hiding place was crushed. Forced to reveal his true identity. A supreme war breaks out. Ancient Emperor Xianding is not too decadent yet. He can still return to his former invincible state. Able to fight with the great emperor at that time. If there is a taboo, the supreme vitality will disperse quickly. Then they have to launch a disaster and victory. Replenish vitality. If their Earth-level origins are corrupted, near collapse, it is possible to fall completely into the realm. Can go back again. Then they will hunt down the great emperor at that time. Make up for fresh prefecture-level origins. And hunted the emperor at that time. Often there is no need to make an appointment. There will also be many similar supreme beings who will work together with tacit understanding to take action. This is what taboo creatures are like. Use all sentient beings in the world to support their eternal existence. So, they are the scourge of all the world, including the emperor at that time. Ancient Emperor Xianding regains his former invincibility. Indeed unparalleled. Can severely injure the emperor at that time. Not falling behind at all. But after all, he is no longer the power he once was. Endless invincibles at the time. Finally, the ancient Emperor Xianding was still killed by deliberate emotions. Universe starry sky. Many strange phenomena still appear in the world of mortals. Thousands of lamentations. Mourning for the former invincible Emperor Xianding. Even a missing child. Now he returns and dies directly. The supreme will of the universe. Still recognize this child. Mourn his passing. After again. Yu Yiqing still didn't stop. Still looking for enemies. He even visited all the forbidden areas of mythology. Some wars also broke out. Eventually, at the time of his founding 16,000 years, he caught Luan Tianzuan out, and killed with force. But That's all he can do. The other two taboo supremes whose true identities are unknown, very difficult to find, lack some key historical clues. But he still doesn't want to let them go. The last. Gu Qin made his dojo hidden from the world. He made a decision. Kill yourself with a knife. Within the sealed divine source. Become a forbidden creature. But he does this. It's not about living forever for the sake of climbing to the tomb in the future. Nor is it the purpose of stepping into the world to protect the world and resist disasters. He simply wants to wait for the enemy to appear in the years to come. Then kill him. That's the kind of character he has. Since ancient times. Many invincibles. Although they are all invincible. But there will always be some relatively alternative existences. The love of a lonely and does not hesitate to become a taboo creature. We must also watch out for the enemy's actions. Among the many weird and invincible people. Maybe it's relatively normal. Qin Feng was 47,000 years old. The lonely land disappears. There is a huge movement in the universe. Heaven and earth mourn together. This era also comes to an end. Former little thief. Are they still reduced to forbidden creatures? Qin Feng can feel it. There's something wrong with that sad image between heaven and earth. This is not an image of the death of an invincible man. It should be the invincible who is missing. That kind of unique earth-level destiny no longer exists. The shackles of heaven and earth are thus released. A kind of sadness that naturally spreads from the supreme heart. It's just that ordinary people can't notice it. Most people would think it was a vision of the emperor's death. Qin Feng guessed that Emperor Gujue had also become a forbidden creature. But naturally he can't be 100% sure. We still have to wait for that Gujue emperor to appear in future generations. Appearing as a forbidden creature. But this is not a good thing for Qin Feng. Because he still has grudges with Emperor Ju. Although Emperor Gujue provoked him first. But now it's meaningless to argue about right and wrong. No wonder the longer we live, the more grievances we have. The heavier the cause and effect. I already have a forbidden enemy. Qin Feng couldn't help but sigh. But he is different from ordinary taboo creatures. He can switch identities more flexibly. Because he has mastered many kinds of flawless ways. Having a grudge with Emperor Ju. It's Qin Feng who uses the Tao of Life method. If he is worried about using the life method in the future, being visited by Emperor Ju, then there is no need to use the Tao of Life method. Or if there is any special opportunity in the future, you can also take the initiative to expose the way of life. Lure the Gujue Emperor into some kind of overall situation. Trap him and kill him to avoid further trouble. It seems that as a forbidden creature, I am getting more and more into the state. They are all planning to bury their enemies. Qin Feng couldn't help but sigh when he thought of this. He lived to be 47,000 years old. It has long been regarded as a truly forbidden creature. His current vision. I have long been aware of those taboo creatures since ancient times. Those forbidden creatures. Many have their own enemies. After thousands of years. Lots of games and calculations. There may even be a direct war. Not many taboos. Spirit. The way of sacrifice, the way of killing, the way of purple energy. After the way of killing is perfected, what he chose to practice was the way of purple energy. This is a way to maintain health. The artistic conception is magnificent and vast. Can step on the world and the years. Essence has extraordinary power. He chose the purple air avenue. Just like when he chose to kill Dao Dao before. It's to balance oneself. The path behind the scenes gradually becomes more and more complicated. Now, his 5 flawless paths are blended together. Support each other's sources. All of a sudden, can push him to unimaginably high steps. He can feel the unparalleled power. It's like the power of the earth. Proud for eternity. He is in such a state. It should be unique since ancient times. Compared to the real earth, it's better to be natural. But compared to the taboo supreme self-proclaimed God, and those alternative enlightened persons, and much stronger, if he is allowed to live another 20,000 years. There are 7 flawless ways. What's wrong with really challenging the earth? Qin Feng had also begun to comprehend the 6th Avenue a long time ago. He is preparing to cultivate a kind of ice edge, such as swords, guns, swords and halberds. And he finally chose the knife. This is chosen because he also used it when he first practiced thunder method. Like Reefer, he takes a domineering and violent path. For this purpose, He also created a taboo-level knife. He used the supreme talent of Zhongxin Meteor Gold. His focus is gold. It was him more than 2,000 years ago. After the lonely land disappears, when you come out to walk in the starry sky, digged out from inside a certain superstar, this supreme talent. At first it might just be after the destruction of an ordinary star, the remaining core, but the core thing will slowly gather dust from the stars again, forming new stars. Then it was destroyed and reborn, evolved over a long period of time. Only then did the stars and meteorite gold finally form. The maturation cycle of Zhongxing Yujin, many times longer than Juseju. But the universe is so big, maybe there are still a few stars falling at this moment, is being conceived. So, on the degree of cherishment, there is not much difference between Zhongxing Yujin and Juseju. They are all divine beings. Qin Feng holds the falling star sword in his hand, while studying the way of swordsmanship, while integrating many insights into the falling star's knife. Use this unique blade to hone your sword skills. This can speed up his enlightenment. At the same time, it can also temper the blade embryo with its own Taoism, can improve the knife blade. One day, should also be able to become an imperial soldier. And just at this time, a streak of light suddenly flew across the starry sky in front of Qin Feng. Qin Feng felt something. Look up. I saw the transcendent divine being in that stream of light. But he looked calm. Even if I see that kind of divine thing, I don't want to do anything. Because that god is considered his old friend. Yo. Coming. Sansheng Shenhua Taoist friend. Qin Feng even said hello. The tone is very cheerful and familiar. Autistic practice for tens of thousands of years. This is one of the few times he is willing to show off. When saying a few words, and seemed to hear his greeting, Sansheng Shenhua actually turned a small corner. Then he flew towards Qin Feng stilly. But Qin Feng was also not surprised when he saw this. Because from the first time he met the Sansheng Shenhua, it's already the 15th time now. Every time the Sansheng Shenhua pretends to pass by, then turned around and flew towards him, but after flying a little distance, will completely change direction and fly away. Qin Feng even set out to chase and intercept him 3 times. But every time, Sansheng Shenhua ran away. Once I chased half of the universe. The elixir of immortality is a special artifact. He didn't understand it at all. Sansei Shenhua is almost a wonder among the elixirs of immortality. There are many elixirs of immortality in the world. Only the flower of the 3 lives gods is teasing it tirelessly. And there is no trace of other immortality medicines at all. I don't know what's wrong with this broken flower. Or is it that there is actually something wrong with those elixirs of immortality? Sansheng Shenhua feels like it is following some kind of order and rules. Every once in a while, the same teas will be given to it. But this time it's different. The 3-life divine flower flew straight towards Qin Feng, very fast, almost in front of him. He didn't turn around and leave. Qin Feng was shocked when he saw this. Every time before, I flew away a little bit and left him. It's almost flying in front of you now. Is it possible that his 5 ways are perfect? Sansheng Shenhua finally likes him. Qin Feng raised his hand and grabbed it casually. No outbreak of authority. A faint aura of vastness and power spreads out. The earth trembles all around. Tear in the void. There is an indescribable earth-level power. However, this time he caught. But he still didn't catch the Sansheng Shenhua coming towards him. The divine flower flashed smoothly, directly avoiding his palm. But the Sansheng Shenhua didn't leave directly either. But after sliding through an arc, start circling around Qin Feng. The intelligence of normal creatures, and the 3 lives divine flower should be ownerless. Otherwise, this broken flower every once in a while, she can always be found. I should have discovered it a long time ago. The secret of her immortality. There really is a master. She should have brought someone to fuck her a long time ago. I don't believe it. Qin Feng was also a little impatient this time. Set out again to capture the 3 lives divine flower. Then, the 3-life divine flower flew away directly, and Ling Feng also chased after him. At the same time, he also used the star meteor knife. Show a dazzling sky. Conceal one's own opportunities. His previous outfit, the hard-bone thunderwood, is paired with the Tao of Life method, but that identity has been used several times. Left some traces in the world. I also have a grudge against the Lonely Land. Now the lonely land has disappeared not long ago. Maybe he is a forbidden creature now. Not completely asleep yet. Watching the time. So he doesn't plan to use Hardbone Thunderwood and Life method for the time being. Change your outfit. Use another method. It's like changing your identity. But he is much better now than before. There is no need to rely on Hardbone Thunderwood to cover up the true body. Those taboo creatures are not born in their true form. It's impossible to see through him. The main thing is not to let other taboo creatures discover its specialness and difference. For example, it does not need to exist in the abyss. Can exist alive. To fly out of the universe. Qin Feng quickly chased and robbed the 3 lives divine flower. Captured several times without success. After a while, he then chased the 3 lives divine flower. Arriving at the barrier of the universe. If we go any further, we will rush out of the universe. And outside the universe. It's an endless realm of nothingness. Even the invincible. Go deep into it. May be lost at any time. And finally, the 3 lives divine flower really passed through the barrier of the universe directly. Straight to the outside of the universe. Qin Feng felt something was unusual. But he continued to follow. Also penetrate the barrier of the universe. Rarely arrived outside the universe. It's not that he has never left the universe. I used to be curious about the situation outside the universe. Came out to see it a few times. The cosmic barrier is not a solid thing. Anyone with some taboo power can pass through. Come outside the universe. What you see is the endless chaos of nothingness. Without any light. Eternal silence and coldness. It is a realm of nothingness that can truly bury all taboos. The 3 life divine flower flew some distance again. In this realm of darkness and nothingness. The only light that exists. But soon, the Sansheng Shenhua stopped. No more action. Rotate quietly. 3 dreamy and indescribable flowers. Blooming with hazy brilliance. Qin Feng stopped chasing the Sansheng Shenhua. He also felt a little strange. But soon, he suddenly stood directly under the 3 lives divine flower. What was found? He looked shocked. Qin Feng couldn't help but get closer. And then finally confirm. What on earth is that? Since it is a building that was sunk. Myth forbidden area. Ancient bronze ship. Qin Feng couldn't believe his eyes. More than 900,000 years ago, that one was sunk by the dusty earth. The ancient bronze ship in the mythical restricted area that then completely disappeared. It's actually in the realm of nothingness outside the universe. No one has discovered it for so long. But this ancient bronze ship is really well hidden. If it weren't for the myth of Sansheng to lead the way, it is impossible for Qin Feng to discover. The universe is almost infinite. What's more, the realm of nothingness outside the universe. Moreover, it is extremely difficult for even the universe to radiate out here. The perception of the divine sword is severely hindered. If the distance is not close enough. With Qin Feng's current forbidden power. Even if you were passing by, it would probably be difficult to spot that ancient bronze ship. Hanging here without sound or light. The entire ancient ship is made of bronze metal. Elegant appearance. Exuding an ancient and majestic charm. As if after endless years of precipitation. That sense of time. Just feel it randomly. Awe-moving and shocking. Completely accustomed to the word myth. This is a building with extraordinary origins. A mythical forbidden area with many legends and secrets. The ancient bronze ship is not that big. It is far inferior to some that move across the star field. The mythical forbidden area that lurks for 9 days. Vast, but it can't be called small. Because the hull of the ship is also thousands of miles long. There is a majestic world within. This building used to be absolutely terrifying. A mythical forbidden area that could bury the earth at that time. There is a lot of damage now. Multiple breaches in the hull. Many parts are missing. There are many horrific traces of battle. There are even several holes that almost penetrate the hull of the ship. It is conceivable. What kind of horrific battle did the ancient bronze ship go through? How powerful was the loyal emperor back then? Even mythical forbidden areas like ancient bronze ships can be sunk. Qin Feng is on this dilapidated ancient bronze ship. I can still feel the eternity, the immortal charm of myth. But the former loyal emperor. But he forcibly made this mythical forbidden area look like this. Knock it down directly from the myth. Such a feat. Looking at the past and present. It seems that only 3 or 4 people have done it. But based on the current accurate historical data, Only the loyalist emperor is the earthly giant confirmed to have truly accomplished the mythical Forbidden Zone. Others are not so clear. At least rumored. Those few people overturned the mythical restricted area. Now they are all reappearing in the world. Of course, perhaps ancient bronze ships will also reappear in the world. Because he was discovered by Qin Feng. But with Qin Feng's current ability, able to control a mythical forbidden area. And what kind of things are in the forbidden area of mythology? This ancient bronze ship has disappeared for so long. Are there any forbidden creatures above? Go up and have a look. Qin Feng thought for a moment. He finally decided to go up and see what was going on. Disappeared for nearly 1,000,000 years. Even if there are forbidden creatures, it is also a corrupt existence that can only survive in the divine source. What's more, it was the loyal emperor who sank the ancient bronze ship. A giant messenger who conquered the world's taboos. Can forbidden creatures be allowed to continue on the ship? Maybe he should be more worried. The loyal emperor turned into a forbidden creature. Maybe this one who stays up there. Finally, Qin Feng stepped directly into the place where the ancient bronze ship passed through a thin air wall, similar to cosmic barrier. When he came in, he only saw a very dilapidated world. Not much angry, not to mention the existence of any forbidden creatures. However, at this time, the ancient ship suddenly shook slightly. A stream of light flew out from the depths. Come straight to Qin Feng. Qin Feng's expression changed slightly, but he quickly saw what the stream of light was. That's a bronze rudder. Things that control the direction of navigation. The square and round grain spectrum is also full of elegance. There are also many damages. The rudder almost hit Qin Feng directly. Permeated with forbidden power. Very strong. But Qin Feng raised his hand and waved. A light dew of peerless divine power that is almost as earth-like. Unparalleled ambition. The pressure made the hull vibrate. The inner walls of heaven and earth tremble. Seems to collapse. The rudder of the ship was knocked off by Qin Feng. Catch at last. But the moment he grabbed the rudder, he suddenly felt a lot of information from the rudder. The entire ancient bronze ship shook violently. Many places of creation in the inner world are gradually recovering, blooming with dazzling light. The air wall also becomes thicker and thicker. Just this moment, the ancient bronze ship seems to be completely revived, stirring up layers of unparalleled myths and waves. But it is precisely because of the vast movement caused by the ancient bronze ship that it was sensed by a monster not very far away. That monster came from the Devil's Abyss. Just conceived and formed not long ago. I'm about to go to the big universe to investigate the situation. Previously the land was alone, although only for taboo haters. But I still fulfilled some responsibilities smoothly. Entered the demon abyss and raided it twice. Killed many monsters. The magic abyss environment is special. Outside the universe, that rich and unique magic weapon. From time to time, some monsters will be born, possessing extremely strong taboo power. It is also one of the disasters in the world. Yeah. This kind of opportunity. What is? The monster was slightly surprised. Then follow the movement and take a closer look. Then he was also shocked. Bronze ancient biography. And has recovered. The face of the monster with no facial features. Can't help but show surprise. It even soon turned into Peking opera. Although he has just been conceived. But because I want to go to the big universe to investigate the situation. Naturally, I also read through the ancient history of the universe in advance. Learn about many ancient secrets and events. It costs nothing to him. So, he also knows very well. The ancient bronze legend was originally written by the extremely terrifying earthling giant. The loyal emperor gave it to Qianshen. The loyal emperor. He also used a forbidden giant from the demon abyss. It hit my head directly. It makes it shrink into the devil's abyss and dare not cause any trouble. It's so ferocious that even the supreme being is frightened. Some people were even worried at the time. The loyal emperor really swept away all taboos in the world. Forbidden areas of major myths. Many taboo creatures. They all have plans to join forces to get rid of the loyal emperor. But later the loyal emperor. Did he disappear on his own? Missing. Let the world's taboos breathe a sigh of relief. The monster saw the revived ancient bronze ship. The first thing that comes to mind is the loyal emperor. And at the same time, Qin Feng holds the bronze rudder. Even though I clearly felt everything about the ancient bronze ship, he directly took control of all the authority over the ancient bronze ship. He simply became the new bronze ship owner. Suddenly he sensed the presence of monsters. A unique opportunity for that kind of monster, so that he can easily identify it. Qin Feng raised his head sharply. The deep eyes suddenly erupted with two smooth red streaks, straight into nothingness, illuminating the darkness in all directions. Unparalleled land-level opportunity falls. Can overwhelm everything in the world. The monsters not far away felt it and their expressions immediately changed. And Qin Feng had already directly discharged it with one palm. A vast and unparalleled purple energy suddenly emerged. Negative pressure in all directions. Qi is grand and transcendent. There is an irresistible and supreme majesty. The power of half-earth. Taboo giant. What a loyal emperor. The monster felt the power of the purple energy. Already shocked, he didn't even think about resisting. He immediately used the magic secret method to escape. In his opinion, the forbidden creature in the ancient bronze legend. No real person was born. Because I don't have that kind of extreme competitive power that makes me stand out in an instant. And to deal with a mere monster like him, he will never be born in his true form. But no real person was born. It can burst out half the power of the earth. It shows that this is a taboo giant. And he is a very powerful taboo giant. What is a taboo giant? It refers to the kind of person who can face the current emperor one-on-one. At least it's guaranteed not to be killed. Even the terrifying creatures that defeated and fought back. But having said that, there is no taboo giant. I really want to fight to the death with the current emperor. Really fight to the end. High probability of final defeat. Or the so-called taboo giant. But the taboo giant does have that share. Not easily defeated by the current emperor, and the supreme foundation and combat power of suppression and killing, in the eyes of monsters. If the loyal emperor really becomes a forbidden creature, it's impossible not to be a taboo giant. And in the taboo giant, they should all be very powerful and terrifying existences. The whole body of the monster, directly struck by that vast purple energy, shocked instantly. The remaining magic weapons were also advanced and destroyed, but monsters have unique secrets, and in this realm of nothingness, can work wonders. So before he was defeated, there's a real thing coming out. Into the realm of nothingness. Return quickly towards the demon abyss. He is preparing to return to the forbidden giant in the demonic abyss. Tell them that the ancient bronze ship has been revived. A taboo giant has already taken possession of it, and this taboo giant might be the former loyal emperor. If the loyal emperor returns, forbidden creatures that have existed since then. Will you recall that world-level intimidation that was so overwhelming that you were almost suffocated? For example, there is a taboo giant in Demon Abyss. His head was blown off by the loyal emperor. I shrunk in the demonic abyss for hundreds of thousands of years before I dared to come out and be active. Although Qin Feng destroyed the monster with one palm. But he also vaguely felt something escaped. But in this realm of nothingness, his perception is also greatly affected. There is no way to track and capture in time. This ancient bronze ship has a big secret. It's better to hide first and explore slowly. Qin Feng is too lazy to think too much. Ancient bronze ship has a mythical forbidden area. Even if it's so broken, also has extraordinary mythical power. At least there's nothing wrong with hiding it. Qin Feng controls the bronze rudder. Directly control the ancient ship, driving to the realm of nothingness on the other side, and extinguished all the light and hid it. He wants to explore slowly. This ancient bronze ship hides a huge secret. Because he had just discovered traces of the former loyal emperor. Maybe he has already guessed where the delivery giant has gone. Outside the universe. In vain desire. There is a vast and boundless whirlpool of demonic energy. Spinning slowly. Drag out countless long rivers of demonic energy from the edge. Extending hundreds of millions of miles away. Majestic. When shooting someone, the whirlpool of demonic energy sinks extremely deep. Like an endless loophole. Can directly penetrate the universe. Such a horrific scene should be the only one in mythology. This is the devil. A more terrifying place than the myth Forbidden Zone. Myth Forbidden Zone. He has buried the earth more than once. This is the monster defeated by Qin Feng. Only one true spirit was left and escaped back to the demon abyss. As soon as it enters the devil's abyss, then it madly swallows the pure demonic energy from all directions. Let the true spirit that is on the verge of collapse quickly stabilize. And start frugal. To regrow the body. The devil's abyss is a special place. Or it can be said to be a special universe. The magic here is endless. There are also unique worlds. The creatures here are bred from many sources of evil energy. Defective. Life is flawed. Called a monster. Without blemishes. Extremely powerful. Called a demon. The monster is not powerful. But even the weakest monster. It also has the most basic taboo power. As for the demons, born in the supreme source of the devil's abyss, belongs to the supreme being. The powerful ones can even make enemies of the current world. However, it usually takes hundreds of thousands of years for the demon abyss to give birth to a demon spirit. Even from ancient times to the present, there aren't many demons either, but those monsters can actually reach the realm of monsters through acquired practice. So, the number of taboo lords in the demonic abyss will definitely not be small. The power contained is terrifying and boundless, said to have the ability to evaporate the universe. Maybe it's not an exaggeration. However, whether it's a monster or a demon, there is also a limit to the ability to receive the technique. You will die when the deadline is up. Therefore, many demon spirits are similar to the Forbidden Lord of the universe. Most of them have also reached their realm, still remaining in the divine source. But there will be some demon spirits who don't want to stay in the demon abyss. Instead, he went to the big universe to become the Forbidden Lord. So there are a small number of forbidden gods in the universe. Actually a demon. I have great things to do. The monster returns to the demon abyss. After simply stabilizing one's true spirit, he immediately promoted the great discovery he had just made, and what he reported, also quickly passed by his superiors, passed to a demon spirit. That demon spirit learned this information, also shocked. It was also quickly passed on to other demon spirits, including the 3 taboo giants in the demonic abyss today. One of the forbidden giants. I woke up immediately. A human figure in the deepest part of the demonic abyss. One of his eyes suddenly opened a little. An unparalleled divine power suddenly swept out. Just a hint of eyes showing through. It seems to cover the entire demonic abyss universe. Fought against eternity. The terrifying energy permeates the air. It seems that all the demonic energy in Manhua is going to be emptied. Such unparalleled terrifying power. Only from the taboo giant. Bronze Furukawa. Loyal Emperor. Has not dead. Demon God Emperor Na brought eternally cold words. Sounds in the depths of the devil's abyss. His tone is indifferent, but I'm also a little surprised. There is still a bit of the economy that has been preserved from the past. He is the forbidden giant of demon abyss. At that time, he teamed up with several other terrorist figures. Laying down a myth will kill you. To trap and kill the loyal emperor. What's the result? The loyal emperor still defeats everything. Kill many powerful enemies. The demon god emperor's head was blown off. Even unable to recover for a while. Dragging his headless body, he fled back to the devil's abyss in embarrassment. Fortunately, there were too many enemies of the loyal emperor at that time. I still can't control him, the demon god emperor. Otherwise, the loyal emperor really entered the devil's abyss. And only for him. There's a good chance he'll still die. The great emperor of Shengchen. It is impossible to kill the golden sword by oneself. The voice that contained the grey and red years spoke lightly. There is an unquestionable ancient majesty. This voice comes from the enemy. He is also a taboo giant in the Demon Academy. And the oldest and most powerful one. The revival of ancient bronze legends. A giant takes over. Not the great emperor of Shengchen. Which one will it be? A demon spirit was also awakened. I can't help but start to think about some powerful figures from ancient times. Let's see who is most likely to win the bronze ancient legend. But he thought about it. There is no accurate suspect. Send news to the universe. There will be someone over there willing to investigate. As long as the ancient bronze legend has been revived and reappeared, then he can't hide it. Will always be found out. Although the enemy said that the one who was in charge of the bronze ancient legend, it can't be the loyal emperor. But to be honest, it's not really impossible at all. Even someone as loyal as the emperor, once trapped in the limits of animal magic, his beliefs and will may also change. How exactly? They are not in a hurry to find out. Time is long. Endless years. As long as the ancient bronze legend is willing to be born, then the real situation will always be unclear. They could sleep for tens of thousands of years. Even hundreds of thousands of years. A game, a calculation, even a trap to kill the enemy. It may last hundreds of thousands of years. No one will be in a hurry. Manhua quickly passed some channels. News of the revival of the bronze bone legend. pass it on to the universe and the divine seed. Many deified restricted areas in the universe. The forbidden creatures within the god species learned the news. Also shocked. The revival of a deified forbidden area is no small matter. Plus a taboo giant whose identity is temporarily unknown. Especially this taboo giant. Maybe he was a loyal emperor in the past. There are not many taboo creatures can handle this news calmly, but they are also in no rush to find out. No one wants anything to happen. Venture out to explore ancient bronze ships. Explore the mythical forbidden zone. This kind of thing usually has to be done by the current emperor. At the same time, Qin Feng drives an ancient bronze ship, staying in a realm of nothingness, and melt into the darkness, not revealing bright opportunities. He first sorted out the situation inside the ancient bronze ship. First, the ancient ship has 3 mythological formations. The ultimate power of every formation. It was enough to compete with the great power of the great emperor at that time. The 3 mythological formations are in full swing. Even the emperor at that time might have failed here. Just, the triple myth formation in ancient legends today was severely damaged. The only thing that's better is the 3rd innermost formation. It can even explode with 70% to 80% of its power. It's enough to fight against the emperor. As for the 1st and 2nd levels of formation, it can only be activated reluctantly. Not half the power left. But the good news is, to restore the mythical formation. Not difficult. Bronze ancient legend as myth. Forbidden. District. But I want to completely restore the mythical formation of ancient bronze legends. Qin Feng can do nothing either. He still has to be in the corresponding position. Add some rare spiritual objects. Even genius. Reconnect all parts of the formation. Only in this way can the full peak formation power be truly restored. Fortunately, Qin Feng lived for 50,000 years. His family background is quite strong. He is in the universe. It has been expanded to 5 nests. Every layer is a place of unparalleled creation. Spiritual object. Real talent everywhere. But there is only one kind of genius. Its 9-color bamboo was harvested by the lonely land. All 9-color bamboo. It's raining heavily. Reluctant to directly refine it into the essence of Shinto. Absorbed by the ancient bronze ship. But Qin Feng estimates that. Give him all his wealth. Used to repair ancient bronze ships. Plus the section about 9-colored bamboo. At least the ancient bronze ship can be. The 3rd layer of mythological formation history is restored. Perhaps the history of the 2nd formation. It can also be repaired to 60 to 70%. As long as there is a mythical history. Able to explode with extreme power. So this mythical forbidden area. It's barely qualified. At least it has some burial. At that time, the power of the earth was. It can also be seen from that building A. How difficult is the history of mythology? Even if Qin Feng is allowed to live another 200 to 300,000 years. Collected wealth. It is estimated that it may not be enough to set up the framework of a mythical formation history. That's why the mythical forbidden zone is so precious and powerful. Because there is a ready-made history of mythology in it. Myth forbidden area. No matter how you look at it, it doesn't look like it could be built by beings in the universe. In addition to the triple myth formation history, there are also 9 divine pools of creation in the ancient bronze ship. There are still some remaining talents of Western-style spiritual things among them. These 9 divine pools of creation. Able to swallow the essence of the universe. The air of nothingness. It is the energy source of the ancient bronze ship. Not only does it support the triple myth formation history. Divine land, the dead end of deification. Could it be that the loyal emperor forced his way into deification and died? Qin Feng is now standing on the supreme sacred soil of ancient bronze legends. He can feel the extraordinariness here. There are still some fragments of Shinto essence remaining. If the forbidden supreme seals himself in the divine source here, it can further delay the loss of vitality and the decay of earth-level origins. So if it is possible, the taboo supreme is willing to stay in the deified forbidden zone. However, the location of the deified restricted area is limited. Not all taboo supremes can enter it. And even the forbidden lord dares to stay in the mythical forbidden zone at will. Because maybe I've fallen into a wolf's den or a tiger's den. The restricted area was eaten clean. So, if you want to stay in the Xinhua Forbidden Zone, need to gain mutual trust in advance. There are all kinds of complicated games and exchanges of interests. Generally speaking, only when a certain myth is forbidden, death of forbidden creatures, in order to supplement the strength of the restricted area. Only then are you willing to accept the wandering lord in the universe. But that's not what Qin Feng is paying attention to now. He was looking at a bronze cup in the soil of the Supreme God. It contains the last few passages left by the loyal emperor, and Qin Feng can see there should have been some older writing or records on the bronze tablet. It was just erased by the loyal emperor. Only his words remain. Deep within the Black River. Never see the myth. Heihe opens. Mythical spirit. Or is there a catastrophe? Who knows? Escape as soon as possible. May avoid disaster. Even if there is a dead end, there will be great terror. As the last thing. Qin Feng looked at these paragraphs. Can read. But it's the same as the loyal emperor. Can't figure out the truth about that myth. And the loyal emperor's final choice is breaking through the mythical dead end. Escape from Heihe in advance. Qin Feng looked solemn at this time. He looked up. I can feel it faintly above. The aura that made him tremble. Can't see or touch. But I can feel an incomparable. A mythical charm beyond anything in the world. That's a mythical dead end. Or rather, every mythical forbidden area. In theory, there is a mythical dead end. Legend has it that these myths lead to a dead end. All can lead to the real mythical land. But the problem is, this is called the dead end of mythology. As the name suggests, it's an impassable road. And there are unimaginable horrors on the road. Throughout the ages, there are indeed many invincibles. Zheng Qiong broke through the mythical dead end. But I've never seen anyone succeed. Most of them even died at the starting point of the road. If this road is really accessible, there wouldn't be so many taboo creatures in the world anymore. Mythical dead end. Qin Feng felt it. Suddenly, he felt something secretly. Then he raised his hand and waved. Boundless purple energy burst out. Vast and magnificent. The sky and the earth are reflected in purple. The ends of the earth are filled with energy, showing an invincible power in the world. He struck directly at the node of that mythical dead-end road. Then, with a rumble, a crack was opened in the dead end of the myth, and a majestic and vast aura of myth emerged. The overwhelming view comes out clearly, as if you have suddenly entered the legendary mythical land. Bronze Furukawa formation. Even Qin Feng's heart trembled. Qin Feng suddenly saw a shadow in the gap, which seemed to be a three-dimensional figure. A horn-shaped object, and then he struck again. The blockbuster is powerful and powerful. Surging forward, magnificent and magnificent. There is an unparalleled dignity and majesty. The impasse of myth has been revealed, and a larger gap has been opened. Qin Feng even extended his vast divine power, straight into the myth of the dead end. But as soon as his power entered the mythical dead end, then he was suddenly squeezed by the endless mythical atmosphere. To wring out his power. But he persisted. Soon I came across the triangular artifact in the mythical dead end. Pulled it out. That triangular object fell out of the mythical dead end. It hit the ground directly. Very heavy. Qi revealed in an instant. It is also unparalleled in its vastness and majesty. Qin Feng also saw its shape clearly. It's actually one section of the tower. There are 3 floors. Made from the supreme divine talent, the mother gold of 10,000 Daos. It should belong to an extremely powerful earth weapon. Even if only one section of the tower remains, there is still that kind of earthly charm that is unparalleled in the world. It's the loyalty tower. Qin Feng can recognize it. These are the supreme soldiers of the loyal emperor in the past. As he conquers the world's taboos. Introducing supreme insurance. Never failed. Overthrow the world's greatest enemies. Already transformed several times. I'm afraid they are close to the category of artifacts. He raised his hand and grabbed it. The overwhelming power fills the air. He immediately picked up the broken tower. Although the ruined tower still has some power to resist Qin Feng. If it is a complete loyal minister tower, the current Qin Feng may not necessarily understand it. But the remaining power of the ruined tower cannot resist him. Qin Feng controlled the remaining tower to surge carefully, filled with earth-level power. Infiltrate directly into the tower for exploration. And this exploration, his expression changed instantly. He captured some rare fragments of fortune in the ruined tower. Pictures of the past that reflect some horrific scenes. That's a fragmentary picture of the loyal emperor breaking through the mythical dead end. Just a glance. Qin Feng was extremely shocked. That's a mighty man. Black hair disheveled. Stand proudly. A tower of Wyo hangs overhead. 10,000 threads of rice wife droops. The power of the god is terrifying. The pressure is so great that even the dead end of the mythology trembles slightly. Get up and look somewhere. Divine light blooms. Fart mud forever. To penetrate through the mortal years of the world. That is an invincible style that truly transcends all valleys. I saw him step into the depths of the mythical dead end step by step. Constantly attacked by terrorists. There is boundless heat. For incomplete ancient emperors who can be burned. There are also things that reach heaven and earth. What a corrupt dragon in the sky. But they were all casually destroyed by him. Let everything return to the dust of time. But the loyal emperor, or encountered an unimaginable and terrifying attack. It's just that the picture is blurry. Qin Feng can't see clearly either. I just saw that the loyal emperor was also stained with blood. Snow falling on the ground. Yinghong myth dead end. But the loyal emperor is still advancing strongly. Unstoppable. Has eternal invincibility. Until a violent impact. The loyalist tower was shattered to pieces. The three-story tower was blown away. Falling back to the starting point of the mythical dead end. And the scene after. Naturally, Qin Feng didn't see it again. So, he didn't know whether the loyal emperor had opened up this mythical dead end. But it looks like. Very low possibility. The so-called dead end. It's the real dead end. Life or death. Even such a powerful person cannot live forever in this world. Not willing to kill himself. Fighting for the final peak to break through the dead end. Qin Feng tried to understand the loyal emperor's thoughts. The loyal emperor was unwilling to kill himself. Because killing yourself means giving up on becoming stronger. Giving up on true invincibility. In addition, he seems to think, staying in this Black River world is waiting for death. I don't want to seal myself. And waiting for the arrival of the so-called myth. So, he tried his best to the end. To break through the mythical dead end. Could this be a way out? Qin Feng couldn't help but start thinking. If he faces something in the future. In times of irresistible despair. Is it also possible here? Try to find a way out. But Qin Feng just thought about it for a moment. I'm too lazy to think about it. He is far from that level yet. And for this world. For the so-called Black River. He doesn't know much either. Let's talk about more relevant information and secrets later. In a blink of an eye. 3,000 years have passed. Qin Feng has already colored all the tombs in his hometown. All filled with ancient bronze ships. 9-color bamboo was also transplanted in. Only to be completely harvested again. To repair the mythical formation. The ancient bronze ship is almost his only home base now. All the money is here. The third level of mythical formation has also been completely restored. It can explode with great power comparable to that of the great emperor at that time. In addition, he also has a neighbor who can't speak, good friend or pet. That is the 3 lives divine flower. Sansheng Shenhua also settled in the ancient bronze ship. But it's still an old problem. Qin Feng won't let Qin Feng touch the 3 lives divine flower. Every time Qin Feng wants to capture the 3 lives divine flower, he will hide. But Qin Feng is also completely patient. It can also accommodate the 3 lives divine flower. After all, the ancient bronze ship is a forbidden area of myth. He was able to find it only after the 3 lives divine flower led him the way. Sena. Mistress. Third brother. Asen. Third brother. What should I call you? Qin Feng tried to communicate with the Sansheng Shenhua. But not ideal. Unless he wants to touch the 3 lives divine flower. Otherwise, the flower will basically not react at all. Qin Feng has not yet come into contact with the second immortality medicine. Don't know about other elixirs. Is it as special as the Sansheng Shenhua? Or are these 3 life divine flowers really special? Thinking back to the many times Sansheng Shenhua teased him in the past. Lead him to find him for the last time. And revived the ancient bronze ship. Sansheng Shenhua also took root here. It always feels like Sansheng Shenhua has been looking for someone. The person who can revive the ancient bronze ship. So that he can stay safely in this sacred flower restricted area. But if that's the case, there are also some problems. Why does it have to be Qin Feng? Who can revive the ancient bronze ship? Those who dominate the universe. The absolutely invincible land at that time. Wouldn't it be more appropriate? except for the earth at that time. Many forbidden creatures in the world, not even those taboo giants. Or it's not that complicated. There is also the simplest possibility. Qin Feng chased the Sancheng Shenhua 4 times. And the 4th time, he's a little more patient. Chased directly out of the universe. Just found the ancient bronze ship. Maybe Sancheng Shenhua is not looking for the right person. And he was simply waiting for someone who could chase him out of the universe. The person who is on the ancient bronze ship. The Sancheng Shenhua might have been caught directly by the earth at that time. Or some taboo creatures didn't want to chase the 3 lives divine flower to the end. Of course, Qin Feng may be the right person that Sancheng Shenhua thinks. There's still something special about him. Asen, you as a kind of elixir. How do you know the location of the ancient bronze? Still say. You have special abilities. Can sense the locations of many mythical forbidden areas. Qin Feng watched as the 3 lives divine flower spoke with the supreme Taoist voice. Radiating out circles of Taoist ripples. Contains the purest meaning. He is still trying to communicate with Sancheng Shenhua. It's not that Sancheng Shenhua needs to speak. Just a little reaction is fine. However, Sancheng Shenhua still has no response. Until Qin Feng asked one more question. Are there any masterless myths in this world? The words still come out in the supreme voice. Originally, he just asked casually. But I didn't expect. Sancheng Shenhua responded this time. Those 3 indescribable fantasy flowers. Suddenly shines more brilliantly. Then Sancheng Shenhua left directly. Riding in the bronze drum boat, the pit of the supreme god. Turned into a stream of light and flew up. No way. Qin Feng couldn't help but be surprised when he saw this. Is there really a mythical forbidden zone without an owner? Sancheng Shenhua also knew the location and wanted to lure him there. However, he will soon be happy in vain. Because the myth of 3 lives has not yet flown out of the ancient bronze ship. In the blink of an eye, he turned around and came back, and returned to the pit he chose to continue to take root.